We're going.
Do you want to play Pyro or do you
I'll go with Pyro.
Okay.
So, Pyro. I'm Jeremiah. I'll be the DM. Alright. So, across the briny seas of the aquatic depths, along the borders of the deserts and the rushes and the tropics alike float trading ships, pirate ships, and small patrol boats of varying shapes and sizes. We begin our adventure, our wondrous journey, on a simple ship. Not a large one, yet not a small one either. A medium, two-floor ship with an extra loft to the ship's upper deck, the TAV Korat, sails across the now calm sea. About a week prior, a terrible storm swept across the depths, causing larger than usual waves on the islands around, and more treacherous waters for those inside the depths' borders. There's a hustle and bustle on the boat this morning as a crewmate has again fallen overboard, drunk with ale and booze from the lower decks. The crew has burst to life aboard the Korat, already telling a bit of gossip, some jokes, and some cries for aid and ropes to help the man overboard. A few minutes later, the Tabaxi that fell overboard is back on his feet aboard the Korat, telling some more gossip about the morning labors to those who will listen. A large Tabaxi walks down the ship's main pathway, down the ladder that leads from the upper loft, down into the first floor below. You there, boy! She, a large hulking beast of a lion, points to a Tabaxi wearing an aquamarine pendant. Fang, introduce your character and describe what you are doing.
Heck yeah.
Oh lord, okay.
Let's go.
I was not ready to be the first character, but alright, okay.
I'm just glad it wasn't me.
I would be saying the same if it wasn't me.
Is this homemade?
I personally want to be the last
It's incredible.
It's not homemade loose leaf, it's just store-bought. I don't know why
There
I
was
said it was homemade.
this really nice booth at the Renaissance Fair the last time I went. They had homemade loose leaf.
I'm planning on getting into that, but I haven't thought about it enough to do it yet.
Korat?
Korat.
Probably a good thing to write down.
A good bit of a history check if any of you wants to make one, or I'll just tell you.
I'll make a history check.
Cool.
For the hell of it.
Yeah.
20.
That works. Okay.
30.
So the TAV Korat is a Tabaxi ship. It is stands for Tabaxi Aquatic Vessel. That is the official designation for the Tabaxi ships that wander about. They don't do trade, they don't do commercials, they don't do commercial work, and they don't do any pirating either. Are just storytelling, seafaring vessels. So yeah, they're a part of the official registration that VAG, which I will tell you about more later in the campaign, registers and handles.
I have the mind of a 5-year-old.
Alright. Do you want me to go ahead and say class and everything total, or just
Anything you want to introduce yourself as. I
All
would
right.
prefer if you did also give us your name.
Alright, yeah, of course. I just don't know what you want to still do secrecy stuff or whatever till stuff comes up or whatnot.
Once I say introduce your character, you give as much detail as you want. No spoilers are held back, because at that point I assume that it's you can tell whoever you want because you're playing.
Alright, cool.
If your character would be like, this is my backstory to everyone he meets, then tell your backstory. If not, then be like, that's secret. That's up to you to decide.
Even then, we're not there to hear it.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright. My character's name is Gale of the Bell, because Tabaxi have weird naming conventions. I'm a Tabaxi, I am a Storm Sorcerer, and I'm a resident on this ship, just an average crewmate there. Nothing super special about me, up until I'm assuming the storm, the week ago storm, is what's referenced.
Yes, the storm
All
week
right.
ago is what is referenced.
Okay, so that big giant storm, about a week ago or whatever, I have this aquamarine necklace that I have, because it was given to me by a friend that happened to part ways recently because of we had to change crews and whatnot. but I still cherish the necklace, even though I'm Tabaxi, because I cherish my friendship with him. So, one time last week, I lose this necklace and go looking for it. I find it on top of the perch in the middle of the storm. I go climbing up for it despite my crew's cries. Once I get up to there and grab it, I have a sigh of relief and I'm about to climb back down when I'm struck by lightning.
Kablam!
Nice sound effect.
Thaumaturgy.
I then fall down. That's the last thing I know of as I'm unconscious on my way down. When I come to, my crew is like a mix of like, thank God you're okay, and why would you do that, for the love of God? And I find that somehow coming to, the lightning bolt or something must, a spark of magic within me. And thus I have magical powers.
Yay.
Thus I have magical powers.
Fair enough.
And I also, through explanation of having the prestidigitation cantrip,
Great cantrip.
whenever I do some kind of flicking motion or some kind of aggressive motion, there's some kind of like brief bit of like gust of wind or some kind of snap or crackle of lightning on my finger or whatever.
Okay,
And-
what does your character do?
Almost like a story.
What am I doing now?
As his
Let's
captain
see.
has come up to you and
You're
pointed
gonna
and was
find
like,
something
"You there, boy."
hilarious once you meet my character.
Oh, no, you get a sorcerer
Alright,
too.
I say,
No, I'm not. I'll let
let's
you know.
see.
Like, what were you doing before this and after, if you want? Up to you. Just anything you want to give us.
I just love the ambiance of the
Yeah.
store.
I just like rain.
Rain is nice.
Rain is nice. Rain is a good thing.
I guess I'll say
Shut up. Oh my god.
I just got back from eating a bit of a meal. I was about to head to see what more work needed to be done on ship. So I'll also be, yes, Captain, what do you want me to do?
Come with me.
Will do.
Y'all walk back into her quarters. She has you take a seat.
Oh, yeah,
So,
you're in
over the
our
past few
quarters.
weeks, I've noticed rumors flying around that you have some, I think you know what I'm talking about, some
Yes,
powers
I would.
of some kind.
That's not super surprising. I haven't been the most cautious about trying to keep it a secret or anything.
Right. Well, I was looking into things a bit, and I found that the Adventuring Guild nearby, you know the one, and you would know the one. It is the Adventuring Guild. It's the one that manages the treaty.
Gotcha. The Adventuring Guild trademark.
No, it's THE Adventuring Guild, literally.
Tia.
That stands for Treaty Honoring Enterprises Adventure Guild. And it has been the one that it keeps track of the treaty and keeps it under control for ages.
Treaty honor.
So I found that the AG recently had their party of clerks in their office retire, and we're looking for some people to replace them for a temporary time as they look for more clerks. Afterwards, those that were there temporarily would probably be given training and experience with any sort of combat they were interested in. So I was wondering, were you more interested in honing those skills, getting better with them?
It's definitely been of interest to me to figure out what's going on with this magic I've got flowing within me all of a sudden. I've definitely spent plenty of free time working to see what all I can do with it. And I doubt joining this guild, at least temporarily, wouldn't hurt in trying to figure out why a lightning strike of all things gave me magic powers.
Alright, well,
Since you were struck by lightning, do you have the scars, the fissures?
they're used to being around.
Just hanging on the poor cat.
What?
It'll crawl under one of the...
Where
one of the
exactly were you
walls.
struck by lightning? Like on the head or something?
Baby,
Where is
come
it?
inside. We can rescue you, baby.
Not legally, no.
Jeremiah,
No,
The
I-
lease does not allow it.
What? The place doesn't allow you to
Have animals, no.
No, I just steal it, take it home. home to the dorms. Hey, I just recently acquired this emotional support cat. Paperwork, please.
Paperwork, please.
It can live in my car until.
So, just so you know,
Paperwork.
Tabaxi in this world are somewhat different than most worlds, as they are seafaring and are on the waters. Whereas most Tabaxi in other worlds are like, or in other areas of the world, would be nomadic over a large landmass, and they tend to stick together in tribes. Because of the aquatic nature of their nomadic lifestyle, in order to get more knowledge and more rumors and interact with each other more, there is somewhat of a kind of a requirement, really, for them to transfer from boat to boat over their courses of their life. This is what happened with your friend, as we talked about,
Mhm.
and this is what happens with most Tabaxi. At some point or another, will leave to go to a different place.
It's a void.
So what?
There's a
It's
void
a black
cat.
cat.
Void
Yeah, there's about 3 void cats and a Kit Kat, like a grayish brownish cat
Alright.
in our neighborhood.
Warriors season 2.
Don't
So-
remind me.
So, as the captain talks to you, she said her offer of like talking about getting you into the adventuring guild is not just an off the cuff like she's losing a crewmate. That would be a normal thing for her, just to
Mhm.
clarify, because I know that might have come up. So she says, I haven't arranged it yet, but I do know of rumors of another Tabaxi who is looking for combat experience as well. So I might be able to organize you and the other character, or not character, sorry, the other,
Spoilers.
the other
Yeah.
person to join the guild together to be more comfortable with each other. Would that be of interest to you?
I think that would definitely help with working towards a totally different experience. Having some familiarity I would assume that would help within my experiences.
And hey, if you come back afterwards and have some stories to tell, Trey
All the
be
better.
would love to hear it.
All the better.
And so, with that conversation kind of closing off, she agrees to make some arrangements and bids you back to your work.
Alright.
All right. Jump cut to a month and a half later. You began at the crags at this time, and as you were journeying with your crew, it usually takes a little bit longer to travel than most other ships, as you stop from place to place to get more stories.
Yeah.
So in this time, you spent some time honing your craft and are still getting your bearings as you work. So it's about a month and a half later.
And the rain stops when we stop with his backstory.
It's still
It
going.
simmers a bit. Comes
It's a
under
normal
simmer.
day on the Tav Correct, and all seems to be well. We hop down the floors to the bottommost floor, to the very back of the chambers where a small cabin has been made into a housing chamber. Heading out of this chamber with a frustrated look on her face, the same woman from earlier stomps frustratedly. It is the captain, seeming mad and irritable on this boring afternoon. Rather disagreeably, she bounds up the steps and points at a nearby leopard. Where is she? It was your watch. Report! As this bickering begins and a very obvious and aggressive disagreement commences on where the supposedly watched being has fled to. On the other side of the deck, noticing this happen, is a human girl, rescued about a week and a half ago from a wreckage of debris floating on the oceanic surface. Hannah, introduce your character and describe what you are doing.
Alright, this is going to be comparatively boring to your wonderful
It's alright.
My name is Henrietta, and like was said, was sort of washed up to the boat about a week ago. Almost dead, not quite, still in bad
Pretty
condition,
almost.
but fortunately better enough to be walking around. So, right now I'm standing and watching as the chaos goes, but I don't engage.
Are you trying not to be seen, or are you just standing there?
I'm just standing.
Okay. At this point, the captain catches your eye and shoves Leopard to the side and begins bounding over to you with the ferocity that could kill a gazelle in just a glance. You! Come, let's talk. And she grabs your arm and begins dragging you to her cabin. Unless you try and get out of the grip, she's legitimately dragging you. You go back to her office, and a similar experience happens as what he had. She begins and just kind of asks you how your day's been, how it's been, how you're feeling. She noticed that you've been walking more recently, which is a very good sign. And she says, "Now, I wish I could say that I could keep you on the ship, and that you could stay with us for as long as you want. However, the circumstances of your arrival are not something to be scoffed at. No one else was found in the debris, no clothes, so it looks like no one else was there. And you said that you didn't see any other ships passing around, so and you can't really tell us any other details, so it's got some of my crew on edge. They're a little bit concerned. So I was trying to figure out what to do. And I heard about an opening with the Adventuring Guild. They're looking for some temporary help to do some clerking work. I could drop you off with them, and they could help you with tracking down any of your friends, if any of them floated somewhere that we haven't found. You've spent the past week and a half, both of you on the ship, just kind of floating in that same area that you were found, trying to see if there were anyone else, and have found nothing. So she continues and says, so you could try and find some of your friends. They would be able to help you with that. They have some more resources, some more ships, and if they found anyone, they would immediately take them back to the guild office, so you see them if they came in. And whenever you're ready to go home, they've told me that they could take you home. I want to give this to you as an option, but it's really kind of out of my hands. If I don't drop you off, then my crew's not going to be comfortable here. And as much as I want to do good by you, I have to keep my crew happy.
No, I understand. I appeared out of nowhere, and it's clearly making a few of them quite uncomfortable.
Right. So you've noticed. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm more than happy that I'm still alive and that you bothered to pick me up.
Yes. Of course.
But yes, that does seem like a good option. If you're willing to do that and put up with me for a little while longer.
We sure will. And I've already made arrangements with them. Like I said, I wish that I could present it as an option. I will drop you off in a couple weeks now. We will arrive at the island. So I do have one of my crew is also going to go along with that, so you won't be alone. At least I can guarantee you that.
Oh. I do hope this isn't one of the few in particular who's been clearly trying to avoid.
I don't know. I didn't really talk to them about it. But I trust him. He's a good one.
Okay.
Well then, with that, I will let you get back to resting. I'm sure you need it.
Thank you.
And she dismisses you. Cool. A week or two later, you are both dropped off at this island in front of the Adventuring Guild. And something will happen, but we will get to that later. Because it will happen to each of you, and I don't want to repeat it 6 times.
Alright.
Alright.
Wait, where's Invisible Bob?
Here we will change setting and change location. We pan into a wooden deck scattered with stains and smears of sweat and blood. An average-sized seafaring vessel blazingly labeled with silver lettering FTAG Snarlbucket. It is a dual
What?
FTAG, which
Snarlbucket.
in a bit I'll tell you what FTAG
We are
means.
stealing this shit.
You won't have to.
SNARLOCKET, Snarlocket.
Snarl.
Snarl bucket.
SNARLBUCKET.
Alright.
Snarl bucket.
Tag.
Hold up. What does FATAG stand for?
You said we'll learn in a bit. We'll learn in a bit.
I feel like
It's
we
clearly
can
a
On the
reference
notes
to
for this,
Cthulhu.
I just wrote in all caps, steel.
It is a dual-level ship with a single main sail post, just enough for your average ship to traverse and pillage the seas. Aboard the Snarl bucket, you hear the many large hulking beasts scattered about the ship, snarling at the top of their ragged voices. Hoist the hang knot! Starboard action, dead ahead! Get the cannons ready! Sword yourself up, me boys! And other shouts.
Somebody became a pirate.
Among them, hopping around the place, jumping from plank to plank as they do various odd jobs around the ship to prepare for the oncoming pillaging, is a Tabaxi. Pyro, introduce your character and describe what you are doing.
I am Hawthorn of a land far away. It doesn't really matter. And I am a large, long-furred Tabaxi with various brindle, kind of brown and black markings with like a creamy underbelly. And I'm currently aiding my fearbold captain in raiding some ship.
Right. Snarl bucket as it swings into action, taking on an approaching vessel near the coast of a nearby island. Readies for the attack hastily, working in a great coordinated efforts. One bugbear stands amidst them all, bright and cheery, ready for the onslaught. He swings up to the upper deck from the net, he swings from the upper deck to a net off the mast and calls to his underlings, "Aye, ready the sails! This be time for us to loot! Ready yourselves for combat and war!"
Bullshit, these guys.
The Snarl bucket erupts in cheers of "Aye, aye!" and "Aye, Captain!" and "Yes,
I
sir!"
love the snarl bucket.
The place bursts into even more action with people weaving in betwixt themselves in a plethora of ways. Ropes swing back and forth along the ship,
I like
men
your word
along with them.
usage.
People run along the decks, careful of the above swinging pirates. Women throw barrels of gunpowder and kegs of ale to the women in the back and ready in the decks below. A lady in the chamber shouts up orders for more supplies as people climb ladders and bustle about. The ship you'll be raiding is a nice palm wood reinforced vessel, crew more chaotically and depressingly scattered about. A bunch of brave birdfolk, the Aarakocra, flit from plank to plank in a somewhat more mast-heavy ship, with branches hanging from island trees littered about as stoops to land on and perch, with a lot more maneuverability within the ship. The ship is lightly labeled with the name of the Slipstream, and a brightly feathered lass wearing no hat, feathers naturally occurring in a nice golden crown, face red and black as onyx, red as crimson and black as onyx, is a large crane. Drop the sails and drop the cannons. We've got some bugbears off our bow. Get ready for the worst and have some ales ready down below the ship for when they go scattering away. A bunch of Aarakocra get moving about, no real cheers as we heard on the bugbear ship, and get to preparing half-heartedly. One of the younger hatchlings in the tribe got injured yesterday night, and the whole tribe has the mood drop of a hurt sibling, a hurt that hangs in the air like the mist of depression. The crew is on job, but the heart just isn't really in their work. Well, chop chop, everyone. Even if there is no real celebration, we can have a toast to Bibo the Bortus, the bird that got injured today.
Bibo? Oh my
Bibo the
gosh.
Listen, don't make fun of Bebo.
No,
I'm
love
not, I
people.
love Bibo.
We can have a toast to Bibo for his bravery this morning,
Bibo the
attempting
Bortus?
to fly. Yes,
Who's
Bortus.
Bortus?
Bortoose. It is a bird type unique to these tropics. It uses a gland to create water, carrying loads specific to cushioning their falls from early nests.
Did you happen to get that name from the thing where it's like, what do we do? We'll just sit here unless Bibo shows up. Hey, Bibo!
No.
Just completely off the cuff.
I love that though.
So they have
Well,
a
here's
water
our
pouch
Boblin
that
the
cushions
Goblin.
their falls.
Yep, Bibo the Bortus.
Bibo.
So we can have a toast to Bibo for his bravery this morning in attempting to fly again. I know he didn't succeed yet. But soon he will, and we can toast to his bravery
You
until
kill
then.
Bibo, I swear.
The crew, while still not fully excited and into things, gives a half-hearted cheer and gets to motion. Among them, one soul, looking particularly upset, and yet even more particularly skilled and active in their work, is another Aarakocra. Baryonyx, introduce your character and describe what you are doing.
Kuda turns, towering over his crane captain, standing at a solid 6.5 feet, glances down at her. Would you like me to go ahead and start scouting the ship?
Yes, that would work. That'd be fine. Or scratch everything that I just said. That was a DM. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Of course, Captain.
On you go.
What was your name?
What was your
Kuda.
Cuda.
It's short for Barracuda.
How do you spell that?
C-U-D-A, like Barracuda.
Okay, because I was like, K.
Like Cubo, but with a D.
Mm-hmm. With an ear-piercing screech, Kuda flexes his long, large wings and rises up into the air. He glides effortlessly along the currents that he's known since hatchlinghood, and he begins soaring, following the thermals, as he swoops in a controlled, fast dive past the bugbears. He manages to just barely evade one, almost knocking it over in his wake as he breezes by.
Ah! These are... Ah.
I'm gonna leave that.
As the two
I'm
ships...
a little dyslexic and I wrote pirate instead of pirate. And I was like, you know what? Bevo would want it.
Pirate.
As the two
Pirate.
ships approach each other, the captain of the bird ship goes down to the cannons and yells, "Fire!" A few stray cannon shots, two, land with a large boom splash as the first cannon fires, and boom splash as the second one goes off. Neither hit the snarl bucket, straddling it perfectly between them. Good show! Let's see their response. As the two cannon shots straddle the snarl bucket, the captain yells out, "Halt!" and stops for a moment. He swings down to the upper deck again and looks through a scope at the bird ship. After another moment, "Aye, lads and lasses, this one's a wash. Ale's on me tonight. Everyone get yourself around." And with that, he turns around and starts wheeling the ship to the left, and turns away from the island and the ship they are quickly approaching. The bugbears below all seem to grumble and groan as they slowly make their way below deck again into the kitchen.
Can I try and snatch his spyglass?
Oh yeah, because you're on the snarl
I'm flying
bucket.
over. I'm flying overhead. Can I try and like swoop in,
You
like
can.
a dive, and
You
snatch
can.
him?
You will be attacked on your way down if you are not sneaky about it.
Okay.
So,
What do I roll?
Full HP.
are you going to try and be sneaky about it, or just go for it?
I'll try and be sneaky about it.
Then roll a stealth check.
A stealth check. Okay.
Can I roll against that?
No, the captain is.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay. I have
Inter-party
my
combat.
dexterity and
Zero.
my
Go for it.
what's it called, proficiency. So 19 plus 7, 26.
You are not noticed.
Oh my
Make
gosh.
a sleight of hand check to try and
Your stats are
steal
good.
it from him.
I love
No.
That's a 20
Nine.
dexterity. So.
You get a hold of it. You aren't able to wrench it from his hand yet. So now he notices you. He has not yet attacked. Do you want to like just try and yank it and go?
Yeah.
Or are you going to do something different?
I'm gonna yank it and go.
Okay, make a strength check then.
16.
You get it. He got a 2 on the die.
Okay.
So it would, yeah. So you yank it and it fly away with it. And he goes, "Ah! Ah!" and goes back to sailing.
You stole from the pirate.
This is on a
Goddamn birds.
Irish.
this is on another spot than where you are.
Freaking
I'd be like
government
underdecks
spy.
probably.
Right.
Stupid
Right.
government spy.
Kuda's a government spy.
Damn pigeons.
Damn pigeons.
Right.
He's an
Bugbear.
osprey.
Oh, sick! That's the cool.
That's why I've been putting so much effort into the diving.
As the ship,
Yes.
Okay,
as the
I love
bugbear
that.
ship, the snarl bucket
It's like-
turns and
like
starts
a
to move in the direction away from the island and the ship. Both crews seem to simultaneously notice a new ship that surely must have been there before, though it seems to have flown completely under your nose into this fight. It's a huge ship, larger than any you've seen before. only a few of the crew have ever heard of a 4-level ship, let alone one with 5 masts. It's a large ship. A few
Big
mound ropes.
ship.
The bird ship, you see this from a distance. You see this if you're on the upper deck. Oh, you said you were on one of the lower ones.
I was on the lower deck, but then I heard him be like, let's go back, and I was probably on my way upstairs.
Okay. So then you would see this as you're getting up to the top deck from, like, seeing it happening.
I mean,
From the ship above
it's a
to
ship
the
with
ship
5
below.
sails, I'm gonna see.
Right. From the large ship to the lower ship,
Probably like a tanker.
swing 5 ropes. Where was I? Where am I? Okay, 5 ropes. Swing, and landing on the bugbear ship is a series of 5 kenkus, rumored to be more vicious than the bugbears, armed with cutlasses.
Like what?
Aboard the
Do
snarl
you know
bucket,
what
as the
kenku
last
is? Yeah.
few have started to return. Commotion
Back.
is heard as that series flits down to the snarl bucket's top deck, swords drawn. A couple of individuals rush at them. The best swordsman and best swordsperson of your crew. The kenkus quickly disarm and slash a cut into both of their forearms, gaining their swords and slashing them enough to lightly cause some blood to be drawn. Clawing very easily and obviously not putting much effort into it. And caw, "Defeated and mercied! Last chance!" With each slash to the forearm and no weapons left, the opponents, the kenkus were fighting, notice that they are very easily outmatched and draw back to the crowd, fists raised, but momentary surrender very apparent. The captain of the snarl bucket notices this, swings down, and lands facing the 5 with a cutlass in one hand and drawing a rapier with his other. So, what is your plan? Take on the whole ship with just you 4? 5! Only till I get a hold of the first of you. Then it'll be a couple more and the last will run. That's how they always go. Ain't it, my golden snarls? He calls to the ship, getting a eruption of cheers of encouragement and intimidating howls. At that moment, both ships simultaneously see another rope get thrown overboard the bigger vessel. And when I say thrown overboard, I do not mean a coil falls. I mean the coil falls into the water below.
Rip.
A moment later, another one goes, properly uncoiling this time. And a large Goliath swings down, thuds into the side of the large vessel, and lands on his knees onto the deck of the snarl bucket, into the center of the kenkus.
You know, if it works, it works.
They stand up a bit and go, "Well now, there's no need to be mean. I just want to talk with the captain. I have some gold to make up for the inconvenience." And he pulls out his bag after clumsily taking off his bag, grabs a bag of gold, about yay big, roughly like 30 to 40 gold looking. Not much, but enough to draw the captain's eye. "Well now, if you had gold, then how about it? Boys, pull a chair up in my office. Pour us a couple rounds as well." The captain turns and begins to walk toward his office, followed by the kenku closest to him and the Goliath. Quickly, the captain wheels around, disarms the kenku who had both of the swords originally belonging to your crew. The captain quickly disarms him of those 2 swords, throws the swords back to their original owners, and slices a feather cleanly off the bird's wing and into his own hand. "Leave the bird, and allow me to take back our weapons you were playing around with. And if you have any weapons on you, well, if I find any come out through our exchange, you'll be hanging with your head off the wall and your boots in the water, if you get what I'm saying. If you catch me, sea drift." And the Goliath goes, "Sure thing." And he slowly takes out a pipe flute and asks, "Is this all right?" I use it for spells at times, but I could just as easily sing. I promise I won't hurt you with it.
Bard Goliath, all that is precious.
It is.
Hurt me with it? Nay, nary a fellow on my ship who could hurt this captain with even a crossbow, let alone a flute. Keep it with you, if you so wish. Your singing must be as bad as bagpipes to threaten me like that. And he turns around and walks into his chamber with the Goliath. The Kenku stays out. A bit later, they come out, the captain hoisting a bag of gold that is not just this big, but rather
Jesus!
very obviously like 10 times as much. Alright, the Tabaxi lass, where is she?
Here, Captain.
Aye.
You just got sold.
This gentleman here wants to have you on his crew. Well, I can't speak for you. He has offered me a lot of gold here to encourage you to go and to compensate me for my inconsolences, or however he wishes to put it.
And what would be in it for me?
Well, I'm not a man to speak for another's seeks and searches, but you joined our crew for a reason. And I would say that this would be a bit of an upgrade myself, and crew not included. Apart from us, we have a better ship, better pay, more experience, better fighting experience than our... seems a little bit embarrassed. Regular retreats, and a couple of bugbears around who just kind of reach out and kind of
Yeah.
pat him on the
sort of
shoulder.
go, I know.
And he says, no more retreating for you when you're in a ship as large as that, I'd say. The Snarl Bucket will hold fast on its own, and as much as I love her, she don't compare to no SOTG Maston Snargle Luftenberg over there. Would be no match for it. I could take him out on my own, but I'd rather do what you wish rather than decide for you. Especially when it being this stark a difference between myself and the crows here, if you catch my drift. And then the Kenkus go, Kenku! Kenku! From the four just start shouting that, chanting that.
With that.
Yeah, you fellas, the crow boys. Kenku! I'll pull the tankard out of your asses and put some ale in it, you crow lads. Or I guess in your words, and he brandishes the feather. Defeated and mercied! And he stuffs it into his hat, brilliantly. Besides the captain there, which, by the way, could you reckon that fellow for captain of that there ship? I could break him with my bare hands, let alone a short sword or a sling. How he avoids a mutiny is a thing of wonders. The captain promised me that there were another Tabaxi there that would help you feel more at ease. What do you say? Want to make me fight to keep this gold? Or want to make an adventure and make your captain proud?
I stand there for a moment just to think.
If you say no.
And then I...
No, I refuse.
I kind of look
Cara,
around
Kotuari.
I kind of look at the crew around me that I've known for years now.
The crew seems to generally look disappointed and sad, but one of them kind of catches your eye and kind of says something along the lines of, would be a better opportunity for you. And I know you've been expressing some desire for more experience, so...
I walk up to the captain, and I graciously nod. And
You can always come back, after all. You're welcome on my ship any day.
I kind of take his hand that's not holding the bag, and I place. I had two symbols of, my home goddess, and I place one in his hand for tough times.
He nods. He nods solemnly and seriously, and then kind of Make a perception check for me real quick.
Oh, he's gonna pickpocket you. You know what they said?
I like to.
Let's see.
I'm
I got a bonus in perception, so.
I'm hoping this is just to see if he's shedding a tear or something.
Ooh,
11.
11. Okay, you will notice later this night that the tokens that you gave him, you gave him 2?
I had 2. I had one that I just keep on my
So you
side,
had 2,
and then I had
you were
like
giving
a.
him 1.
Yeah, I was giving him 1.
You notice later this night that he has slipped it back into your bag, and you have 2 now.
Wholesome pirate
Which-
captain.
Awesome.
Within the pirate experience, you would know was not him being like, I don't want your stuff, but would have been him being like, I want you to be more protected.
We support the wholesome pickpocket.
Joe,
Now I
you
feel
know,
bad
I'm
for
just
stealing
snarl
his
bucket
fishing
all
spot.
along.
You were the whole
I don't know
snarl
why you
bucket.
did it, like-
You're the ship.
What
You're
are you gonna do
secretly
with
playing as the
spyglass?
ship.
Yeah, I'm retreating.
I just wanted to like rub the salt in his wound and be like, yeah, you better run.
Yeah, you
better
did.
Run.
You
better
did.
run.
But you flew back to your ship.
Yeah, I did.
She,
With a
But yes,
spyglass.
that happens.
it's very much not a sorrowful goodbye. It's very
Right.
much I will see you again.
Right, yes.
Captain, whatever his name is, Spyglass. Isn't
Stolen
it?
spyglass.
Snarl Bucket McGee.
His name is Captain Spyglass now.
Captain Spyglass.
Captain Spyglassless.
No, he
Captain
is not
Spyglassless.
defined by his spyglass.
Yes,
He's
he
much
is.
more skilled than that.
He is now.
What was his
Yes.
actual name though?
It's in your backstory. You should know.
It's in her backstory, but I didn't tell her about it.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know who my ship captain was until he was mentioning that it was a female lion. It was
Yep.
the Lions.
I didn't even know
we
I'd
didn't
be
even-
on this same
I didn't
ship.
know
as
I
I knew
Ray.
there was a female human
I
on
mean,
my
I
ship.
can-
That's
I'm
all I
just curious
knew.
how I'm gonna meet
So I'm like,
all
I
of
assumed
you
it was another
because
character,
I'm very
but-
different from the 4 of you.
You are a ship.
I am a ship.
He
It's
is
like,
the Snarl.
Are you
Tabaxi
like one
got
of those
struck by
Transformers,
lightning.
but like a ship version?
You're. In my notes for you, I just put cursed question mark.
Me?
Yes.
We'll see about that. I don't know myself.
You're a pirate, and I'm not exactly sure, but you seem like scary.
This is Captain
Bebo.
Snarl.
Captain Snarl.
Just Captain Snarl.
He has more to his name, but does not share it
It's
unless.
like Blackbeard.
Wait, didn't you say his like
His
he had
actual
like a
name's
gold
Bob.
snarl or something?
No, my golden snarls, he said to y'all.
Uh,
As like a, isn't that right, my boys? But
okay.
not gendered, because
His actual name's
this is a non-gendered ship.
His actual name's Sue.
No, his name is actually Snarl. Like, that is his real first
I know.
name.
I was just joking about how
First name
pirates usually
Snarl,
have, like,
middle name
a
Leslie.
very
Middle name
yeah,
and last name he doesn't share with anyone.
They're probably.
Would you have asked him at any point? Or asked someone at any point about
I
it?
probably would have asked him like one day when he was like drunk after a good pillaging.
He says something along the lines of, and it's hard to make out because he's like really drunk.
Yeah.
And it's he says something along the lines of no longer having the gruff voice that he uses for combat. He says something along the lines of it's something normal. Think like Smith or Jones, but more Bugbear-esque. Because like Bugbear have common names that are like
Yeah.
Rough Skin or Groucho or
We got a
Correct.
name. We got a name.
That are like
Captain Bugbear James. Bugbear Jones.
something like that.
No, his name is now Groucho.
But so something like that. Think something like that, but I don't like telling people
Groucho,
it has some
Bugbear.
has some bad memories for me. And so this is all you're guessing that these are his words. He's actually speaking more like.
Oh yeah.
She speaks drunk captain.
Yeah, you
Drunk
speak,
cap.
you speak
I'm
drunk
fluent
captain.
in drunk. I actually do. Okay, so while I was scribbling all this down, like because I couldn't find my base one anywhere that I had made over the week, I was scribbling everything down. So I just wrote common +2.
Okay, one is drunk.
Yeah.
One of them
if
is
you
drunk
want them
captain.
to be, if you want them to be, you speak drunken murmur.
Oh, is that actually one? I didn't.
No, it's
No,
not
but
like
we can
no.
make it. We can make it.
But it actually be useful.
Sure.
That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
if someone drunk
No,
and
like,
if someone's
will-
drunk and
I will
gets
take
murmurs
that.
that are unintelligible, you will be able to understand them.
Yeah, I have a language I need to figure out.
As long as they are able to communicate at
Common
all,
Dwarvish and
even if it's just a word here or there, you will be able to understand.
Dwarvish, you say?
See,
and
indeed, I
so-
speak Dwarvish.
His words in
You're not
drunken
the only one.
mumbles are,
Nice.
think something like bugbear common names like rough skin,
Groucho.
tough skin,
Groucho.
Tufton, Groucho, the regular bugbear names. But it holds some bad memories to me that I don't like to think about. It's one of the many flashes that cause me to drink.
I just kind of nod.
And after he takes a moment of like looking at the table, and this is not him looking at the table like this. It's more cause me to drink.
I wait to hear a snore.
And drinks like a good, like he had like half a glass left, which is like usually he will drink about 4 glasses,
Affectionately.
but we'll do the last one. He'll usually get to like half a glass, and it's like the stuff that like any of the crew, if one of the crew were to drink it, it would get them like hard drunk after like a quarter of a glass. Usually he'll slowly over the course of a day
27.
drink like one of those glasses. So he'll fill it up like a fourth, and we'll drink like a fourth of what he fills up, usually, and then we'll fall asleep. So that's what you usually wait for.
I'm disappointed that I just now figured out that the tune "What Would You Do with a Drunken Sailor" also goes with "What Would You Do with a Drunken Bugbear."
But so
What would you do with a drunken bugbear?
that
What
whole
would you do
thing
with
that
a
he usually doesn't drink much of at all, he just is like, and just downs the entire thing, pours another quarter, downs the entire thing, slams his cup down, and like literally shatters his cup. It's not a valuable cup to him. It's just like a glass. Because when he's drunk, he oftentimes will like fall over on his, or he'll like fall asleep on his desk and then like roll over and accidentally knock it to the floor and shatter it. He has a servant boy who will come in and clean up, like in the middle of his naps, because it's a boy who has been trained very specifically to be very quiet. And so he downs 2 full quarters of that strong ale, and kind of brushes you to the side and like kind of starts to stand up and like wobbles. I assume you would like go and try and help him. He basically pushes you to the side.
Okay.
For that.
I'm gonna have to take this because this is my dad.
Yeah, go for it. Yes.
I'm gonna go out to the back porch.
Okay, cool.
Also, this is what I meant by scream.
I'll make sure that you get out because it's got a couple of locks.
No, I feel bad for stealing his shit.
Yeah, you should.
Well, Kuda doesn't, because he doesn't know, but Kenzi the player does.
Kenzi the player should feel bad.
I'm just
Kenzi
glad
the
this
player
is
feels
turning
bad.
out so close.
So,
well, not so
I
close.
love how we only know one character class.
I've been said I've been
I'm assuming you're a martial class.
I'm a swashbuckler.
So rogue,
rogue.
then?
Yeah.
Yeah, swashbuckler subclass.
Nice.
Alright.
Alright, so in the meantime,
Sexy.
And you're just mysterious.
how are y'all liking it? And you might want to
Good.
pause the recording by
I
the way.
definitely
Alright.
took a lot of
Just pause
inspiration from
Yep.
this character.
That you
Womp.
knock into the table.
Take 1d6 bludgeoning damage.
This is not
It's
like
a flashback.
something you need to worry about health-wise.
War memories.
But it is very clear that a nerve has been struck. Not that you've made him mad, but that he has been reminded of something deeply to him. And so he pushes you to the side, realizes that he did that, turns around really quickly and just kind of like looks away from you. The vibe of the room is like, get out. But he doesn't say anything.
Flashback over.
I nod and kind of, cat slink my way out of the room.
What is that?
Back.
But really, really
Back to
fast.
present.
That's it!
Yeah, back to the present. Yeah, so you nod.
Those are so good.
A Kenku offers you to join his rope. He is holding a sword in a very menacing way. I would assume that you would be a little bit cautious there.
Pyro is
I kind of eye him, and then I look to see if the Goliath is getting up.
The Goliath is kind of like awkwardly holding the rope and kind of catches your eye and goes, do you want to...
I walk over, I take the rope from him and start climbing.
Okay. And he kind of like
It's
grabs the rope,
It's very much.
looks at the other
I know what I'm
Kenkus, the
doing.
Kenkus, you know what you're doing, you start climbing up. The Kenkus both all just kind of like grab their ropes and just kind of like start to fly out a little bit. And the Goliath like, oh. And then pulls done and like shakes the rope. And does that and then just kind of holds on and wraps one hand. The rope gets very quickly started to be pulled upwards. So as you're climbing, you feel those, and the rope starts moving below you and goes up.
I kind of look at where the rope's going and try to put my foot on a ledge and climb up the actual part of the ship.
It starts to go over, and you're like on floor 3, so you're like a good floor from there.
Okay.
But it like is very quickly getting rolled up. You get a leg over, fall off the rope, rolling onto the deck of the ship.
I quickly brush myself off like I meant to do it.
Are they gonna do it?
The Goliath does the same exact thing, except on the other side of you, like the rope's here, you go to this side, he goes to this side. And when he does it, he kind of like is trying to stand up onto the ledge, goes like, and falls, just face plants onto the deck with a,
I love this.
I love him.
Love this guy. Do we have a name for him yet?
and then
No, we do not. I just.
and then like Thud gets up.
That is Morris.
Sorry about that. I'm Twig.
Yes!
This guy is not like a stick, like a tall stick. He's like, he's a thick Goliath. Like he's overweight.
Oh.
I'm Twig.
Hawthorn.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a character. I love Twig.
Hawthorn, Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Hey, Ruby.
E at the
Or
end.
these
Pyro,
kids-
shoot.
Yeah.
That, but E at the end.
Alright.
Right. Hawthorne.
Hawthorn.
With
With
an
an
E at
E?
the end.
No.
Or no?
Hawthorn.
No E.
Dang.
Oh.
I
Alright.
thought for sure.
HAW Thorn.
Alright, cool.
Did I write that down? I should have.
As
Is it
in
E at the end?
No, not with an E.
Okay, just Hawthorn.
Hawthorn,
As in like the actual plant.
Hawthorn, Noe.
All right. So, y'all shake hands. He kind of introduces you to a few people, gets you set up in one of the cabins, informs you he's not talking. Him and the captain weren't talking about you joining their crew on the ship. They were meaning taking you by ship to the Adventuring Guild itself.
Do I clock this as like we start going at some point?
Clock this as in.
As in like, do I notice that they're like specifically going somewhere?
Oh, not really, not yet. It's still like the boat is somewhat stationary. It's not stationary because it's like in the water, but the bugbear ship has started to drift away,
Okay.
and
As
is staying
the
relatively to the same position as the island.
as the bugbear ship starts getting like away, I'll climb up one of the masts and kind of do the Peter Pan thing off one of the sails and wave.
Awesome.
And you hear a few bugbear howls, which are like you recognize a couple of the voices as friends of yours. You recognize a couple of the voices as people that you didn't really like.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a couple that are like, "Yay, good for you," and there are a couple that are like,
Good riddance!
"Good riddance."
Smelly
And
cat.
both bring you joy because it's your friends, and also you never have to see your enemies again, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So after that, Twig introduces himself after that, and after that, the bugbear ship sails off into the distance. Once it's out of sight, he tells you about like the Adventuring Guild and how he's planning on taking you back there, training you with combat form as part of the regular stuff, and then shows you your place in the ship. Cutting back to
I'll occasionally just while I'm on this ship, like while we're on the way there, I'll occasionally like kind of trap one of the Kenku. like you know how a cat just kind of sits there with the mouse sometimes, and then she'll just be like, "I caught you," and then let's go.
Just
morality die.
Morality.
Literal morality die. This determines what the
Sure.
Kenku does, whether it's something
Stabs
evil or
you.
something good.
Oh yeah, this is Hawthorn, by the way.
It
I
is
love
evil,
her.
but only slightly so. So the first time that you do that,
She's gorgeous.
Love it.
the first time that you do that,
So now I have to
Ow.
go Cuda.
okay, the first time you do that,
I'm
you
terrible
do
at it.
genuinely catch a Kenku, and it, one of you let go, rips away and runs off. The next time you do that, it spies. Oh my gosh, rolling awful.
Good.
You do that twice. The third time that you do it. So the first time you do it, it's like that. The second time you do it with a different Kenku, the same thing happens.
Mhm.
Third time, you're trying on the same Kenku that you had already done it to.
Mhm.
They clock you doing it beforehand and cause a decent incision on your hand as they slice with a dagger your hand.
Blood Curse of the Eyeless.
What is
You're a blood hunter.
Tell me what that does again.
It basically means they don't, like, the moment they go to strike me, whether or not they rolled above my DC, their eyes go dark and they miss.
Okay. So they miss, but they still, like, are striking towards you
Yeah.
and back off and are able to get out of range.
Mhm.
So they escape and are not done. And that pattern of them actually, like, attacking you after you do that continues.
I can only do that, like, once a day, though, so it's just
Right.
Blood Curse of the Eyeless.
Right.
I mean, it's basically.
It's very quick.
for
It's very
federal
quick to
maker.
tell that it's not gonna be just like a I got you, have fun. I got
Yeah.
you, have fun. It's gonna be like every time you do that, it's a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And with that, I'm gonna grab tea real quick. 'Cause
I'm gonna try and do that to Cuda.
But
Except
yes, I
Cuda
am
is
You're a
tall.
blood hunter.
I'm a blood
Let's
hunter.
Go.
That's a cool way to reveal it, honestly.
Okay, I had like of my 18 character ideas. One of them was a blood hunter, Curse of the Lycan,
Mm.
Order of the Lycan. One of them was a storm sorcerer.
Ah.
One of them was a swashbuckler pirate. So
Man, you just got. We don't even need any of us. We just got to time travel you from the
Yes.
past into here, and you can you can
Well,
play the
it's
whole
like-
campaign yourself.
No, I just love how like some of us had the exact same like just ideas like
My secondary idea was a Tabaxi warlock.
More
think-
Tabaxi.
I think
That's
every
what
like
I
second
said.
one
idea
of mine
Tabaxi.
was a Tabaxi Fathomless Warlock.
Honestly, if we ended up with an all Tabaxi campaign, I wouldn't be.
I'm
I
letting you know,
wouldn't be.
I am not a Tabaxi.
Because you took where?
Kajita wears?
Because you
Does Kajita wears?
The TAV furry.
about having the I thought about if I had done the character thing first, I straight up would have done a different world and would have done a Tabaxi mercantile series where it's just like y'all are traders and that's all it is. That's what I would have done had I
Is-
gotten the characters
I
before
might
the
end
world.
up doing a
Is
little
the tea
bit of
ready?
that.
Tea is ready, but it's still got a steep.
Ah.
I just poured the boiling water into the tea.
Oh, okay.
And by boiling, I mean just off the boil, which is
Yeah.
cool.
And by just off the boil, you.
Bird shit. Just off the boil, I mean when the bubble stopped going.
Yeah.
Technical terms for it. Right,
The,
so
When there is no longer bubble.
the thermodynamic transfer has started again.
Actually, wait, hold
The
on.
bubbles have been deceased.
Because you
I
can change
gotta
phases or
relook
you
over
can change
Blood Curse of the
temperature.
Eyeless
Can't do
because
that.
I don't remember if like you get a DC against it. You probably do.
oh, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
So that's just like Mathew Mercer's
For
Blood
future
Hunter.
reference, do look
Yeah.
into it, but I don't need to know for right now.
Yeah.
So that exchange already
Have
happened.
that on my computer. I'm trying to get everything down. So the adventuring. What did THE stand for again?
The
like
Treaty
Treaty
Honoring
Honoring
Enterprises Adventuring Guild.
Oh,
Treaty
is it?
honor what?
Enterprise.
Treaty Honoring Enterprises Adventuring Guild. It is a guild that
Honoring.
does get like it's a for-profit guild, which is why it's enterprises. And then it is beyond just Sorry, I'm looking through because I got
He
an app
doesn't
or
care about
something.
its adventure.
It is a for-profit venturing guild that does seek to honor the treaty, and that is its entire purpose.
Gotcha.
Which is why Treaty Honoring Enterprises Adventuring Guild. Cool.
I'm pulling up Blood Hunter right now for you.
Okay. So, the bird ship, cutting back to that, sees this giant ship, sees the ropes fall, sees the one Goliath fall.
Sees the one rope go into
Yeah,
the
one
water.
rope go into the water, one rope coil. You can't tell as much about like how many figures there are. You just tell some people swing down with ropes, and then one person swings down with ropes, and then a bunch of people swing up, and then a couple of people
You roll
swing
a
up on,
Kingcraft dice
or
and
pulled up
subtract it from
essentially.
their attack roll.
And seeing this from afar, the captain calls out,
Nope.
"This is none
I
of
have
our
it pulled up
business.
right
Okay.
I've heard of the SOTG mast snagging
Oh, yeah.
loft
What can
before,
me the blindness?
and can vouch that they will not bother us. Get us back to home. Let's go toast to Bebo."
SOTG.
Toast
There
to
we
Bebo.
go.
Toast to Bebo!
Bebo!
Everybody,
Bebo!
Bebo!
So the wait, gotta
Okay.
wait. What time is it?
2, 1, to Bebo!
To Bebo!
Oh! Okay. I was gonna actually try, but like needs a little bit
What
more.
if a
time.
Bebo's already a joke?
Hey now, don't call Bebo a
No, I
joke.
meant
He's a
like-
very brave
I
young
meant-
boy.
Turns out Bebo was a barbarian.
Listen, this is my little brother, okay?
Yeah.
Bebo
Shut
was
up.
a
Okay, now
barbarian.
that's canon now.
Well, we don't really have like
Technically.
family relations. Everyone's my little brother and sister, pretty much.
Anyone younger than her is her younger brother. Anyone older than
Bebo
her
would
is
like
either
to
an older
rage.
sibling or a parent.
Aunt or uncle,
You get-
basically. Auntie. You know, like in the culture show, everyone's called auntie.
Oh yeah, and that's how we get Jinling's uncle.
So, your
It's,
ship.
That's how I
it's a
became a
joke.
monk.
It's a
Your
joke
ship
where
does-
translations go bad, and they
So your
basically
ship does-
everyone's an uncle for some reason. or other.
I just realized none of y'all get that reference because it's an inside joke.
Well,
That's how I became a monkey's uncle.
Okay, so your ship, the bird ship, goes home. The slipstream gets back to dock, pulls in. You unload and get back onto the shores, surrounded by a bunch of young hatchlings, bounding over, flapping, trying to fly. A few are able to barely hover off of the ground for a moment, going, "Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! I can fly!"
I'm gonna like pick one up and twirl it around.
After visiting a bit with the kiddos, you see the loft from afar turn and start drifting towards the island.
Oh shit.
The elders of your island and some of the older folks gather to shore. They usually do not come out to greet you, they wait for you to go to them. Seeing the loft, they go out to the shore, which immediately strikes you as like, this is odd. This is not a normal like trade ship.
I do that like, you know, like that handout thing where you're like
Right.
in
Get
front
the
of some
kids
of
behind
kids,
you.
Yeah.
so we now have like a fifth ship entering the scenes.
No, this is the
No, this
same.
is the
bugger.
this is the twig ship. This
The
is
twig
the
ship. All right. The SOTG. I think I heard it
The
say.
SOTG
Mast.
snagging loft.
Mast snagging loft.
Right, I will throw that into the world lore, or the world channel. Sorry,
STOG?
Fresh World.
SOTG.
SO.
And I'm assuming the SOTG is like another ship classification then.
Which probably has something to do with Kenkus.
There is not a K.
My first thought was
Good.
like ship
Oh,
of the
Goliath.
gods,
SOTG,
but that doesn't
maybe
make
Goliath.
sense.
Close. Ship of the Guild.
Okay.
Oh, adventuring
It
guild.
stands for a ship of the guild, as in for the adventure.
The only guild. The
Well,
guild.
I'm already
Since they do the official registration, they have snagged that as like their official descriptor.
Mhm.
Any other guild that says like the guild is taken like either unofficially or officially is not allowed that. Tyranny. Woo. But yeah, so a small chill and silence goes over the air as the ship gets close enough to shore to get slowed down by the sand, but not enough to like damage it.
Mhm.
Kind of angles like that,
Mhm.
and then a ramp like slides out onto the sand. The Kenkus and the Goliath stride down. Goliath walking normally, long strides. The Kenkus flitting about very quickly in front of him, matching pace, but still having to work harder for it. They get down with their swords And the Goliath goes, "Hello, folks. No need for alarm. I'm just here to chat. The Kenku just like the adventure." And the Kenkus all screech, "Fun! Fatality!"
I kind of bonked one of them on the.
They just
Oh, no, all the kids,
you are
like-
not a part of this.
Oh, is this
You're
not this?
All the
Okay.
This is the same ship.
Same ship. You're just
You are stopped.
Earlier
This is-
from when I
no,
got on.
afterwards.
after.
But you're somewhere
You've been
else.
taken to your like
You're vibing.
your like room.
Reading a book in hammock.
If you were to try and go with them, a couple of Kenkus would have stopped you.
The
This is
Aarakocra.
something that needs to be just them. Not
And the slipstream is nearby, but
We docked.
you docked.
the
Okay, I
slipstream
missed
docked
that.
and unloaded.
We
and
are
all.
at
Gotcha, I missed that. My bad.
The Aarakocra children like start screeching back.
I cast Fireball
Right.
on the children.
Oh no!
You really are the
Cuatro.
small.
They just mean
You're a wizard?
They just mean
Wizard
one
ship?
part.
I'm
Barbarian
you guys,
Barbarian
chill. Anyways,
level 40 character.
I just noticed as I
Wizard
went along my
barbarian.
business there that there were some good Aarakocra on your ship. An Aarakocra, specifically one who was more impressive, I guess is the word for it. That one there, and points to you.
I kind of like narrow my eyes and like puff up my feathers a little bit.
Right. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I gotta change my notes because I accidentally put down the wrong name.
What?
You have sunglasses eyes. Your eyes are polarized.
Mhm.
Just realize that.
Mm.
Because your eyes are less bright.
Oh, yeah.
I'm geeking out on my favorite bird.
Who was the most active on the ship. I just wanted to stop by and ask if they might want to. Well, we're a bit short-handed recently at the guild over on Peanut Place, and could use the help. I'd love to join for some tea or some food and talk it out if you'll have me and my Kenku friends. They won't bite. Fatality! Friends, didn't we talk about this on the ship earlier? I told you, we can't be scaring our friends and worrying people.
Fatality.
Fun is fine, but all this fatality talk spooks people who might be completely friendly. Please apologize and behave yourselves. One of them starts to scream fatality again, and the Goliath like
Lesser birds.
slowly you see a change in his face as he just like slowly looks.
Question. I have a
And then the Kenku there first, and then the other Kenkus follow suit, but first that one goes, "Apologize! Apologize! Fun! No fatality! Apologize!"
DM, I have a lore
Yes.
question. What do the Aarakocra think of the other bird people?
The Aarakocra don't generally like the Kenkus,
We don't.
because Kenkus
associate
are like
with them.
pirates.
Well,
Yeah.
the D&D lore is that there's no like lore that the Kenku are Aarakocra, but they are bird folk that did something to be cursed and lose their wings.
Yes.
So we kind of, I would say at least my people look down.
Racist.
I would say
My
my
point.
people look at them as like the redneck cousin. That
That is soft racism.
they're like the redneck cousins that we don't talk about.
Right.
Nice.
So
The one weird uncle that shows up to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and like
So-
they show up to
You
Thanksgiving
don't
and they're
know
like,
quite how he's related to
canonically
you.
in this area, the same thing sort of it applies true, but to a greater extreme because the Kenkus not only have lost their flight in significant amounts, they still can like flap and glide to an extent, but they can't fly. And only the skilled can even do that. Most of the
Gliding
pirates
speed?
just can't.
we feel bad for them.
Right. So beyond just the like they've lost that and are cursed and are not able to speak clearly as y'all do. Beyond even just those things, they have taken up the life of pirating and piracy. It's rare to find a Kenku that isn't a pirate. And that in itself is like that's the exact opposite of what the Aarakocra stand for. Y'all are like family and protect each other and don't attack other people. And so the idea of the Kenkus being like, let's kill everyone, because that is genuinely the Kenku ideology is like
Fatality!
fatality.
Fatality!
Fun! Fatality!
Right, fatalities are fun. Is
Okay,
the
I just
attitude
gotta
of the
put my character
Kenkus.
description real quick.
Headcanon,
Likes
the
to
Kenku
kill
started the
people.
knife game.
Are you a Kenku?
No.
The
Basically.
Kenku started the knife game.
Oh, yeah, basically.
Way later, 'cause
That's
they
the
messed me
sort
up.
of pirates they are. Is like the, whereas the bugbears are, we will take all of your goods and potentially take some captives, but like we're not just gonna kill you for violence and violence sake.
Kenku
Imagine a
please, for violence sake.
Kenku singing the knife game.
I have all my
Oh,
feathers,
I have
my
all
neck-
my fingers.
My neck goes chop chop chop. Well, and you do have feathery fingers, so it's like,
Well,
I have all my
It would,
feathers.
in that case,
I have 4 of my
As-
feathers.
and then
I
as
have
they
three
do
of my
that,
feathers.
they would go, my knife goes chop 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 and stab someone. Stabs another Kenku, goes back to do it again. The other Kenku joins in.
Two knives on one
And I
hand.
was like, you have all your fingers, my knife goes chop chop chop.
The
So
game
Kenkus are kind of gremlin-y.
Yes, the Kenkus are very aggressive
Sea
and not
gremlin.
liked by most people.
The knife game
And
actually.
even more so for
So,
the
Aarakocra are Mogwais, they're gremlins.
The elders at this point, hearing the apologies of the Kenkus and seeing the Goliath, go, very well. Come with us. And they invite them in for food and drinks. Very carefully. It's a very weird, uncomfortably tense vibe.
We put all the children apart. We're like, okay, we're
Right.
alone now.
The children are
Stay
essentially
away from the
like
corpses.
the main.
Stay away from the Corvids.
The children
Come on
are
now.
usually the main source of entertainment and source of conversation for like food, because you're like the kids want the attention, and it's good to give them the attention because it encourages them to fly and try things, which is good for the tribe. So generally, the kids are like very active in the food, and the elders are very quiet because they have more things to think about.
How's Boobo doing?
Bebo.
Bebo is
Bebo.
Get it right.
Bebo is recovering. Bebo is
Bebo's a
being doted on.
barbarian.
So
Bebo's a barbarian.
Bebo's being doted on.
so
Whoa.
this time, however, the children are kind of escorted away from the food area. Like some food is taken and brought to another area where they eat separately, which is very odd. Even with like trading ships, even whenever there are like the occasional like pirate who would be like a stranded someone, anything like that, where it's like suspicious circumstances. Even then, they would still have some of the kids at least.
Like
So
some
it's
of the older
very
kids,
odd.
you know.
Right. So it's very odd that all of the kids are gone. Even some adults don't go to the dinner this time. But over dinner, the elders talk and get to hear more about the guild. Get to hear about some of the stuff in hushed voices at the end of the table, or at the end of like the dining area. Which I'll let you kind of flavor text it. I don't know how you would want
We
the
all
dining.
kind of like sit around, and usually it's very bustling, like people kind of like, you know, so there's this thing in like Chinese culture where you have all the food in the center and you just take what you want, and then like if you see somebody like your friend is sitting next to you, you like take food and you go put it on their plate and they're like, eat more. I do that to my friends.
Very much the
Grandmother
Asian
vibes.
grandma.
Yeah.
Oh
Asian
yeah, they're
grandma.
like, you're not eating enough.
It's like the Asian grandma. It's like, oh, eat more.
I just
love.
want a sandwich. Here's a 5-course meal.
Eat more, love. You're so skinny, love. That kind of stuff. So it's usually like that, but right now it's very reserved. Like we're kind of like nibbling on food and watching the Kenku just like
How does it
fucking
work?
demolish what we give them. They're
It
like,
just takes small bites.
food,
No, yeah.
fatality, fun. And they're like,
Every time they
suckling.
say fatality, it's like very rare that they do, but every now and then one will say that, and then
Starts to change.
the Goliath. At one point, it's said like three. It's said 3 times, and then the Goliath stands up from where he's eating, turns around and looks, and then turns around. And, like the whole thing goes silent. Like the whole dining area goes silent as this Goliath, who's like 8 feet tall and is like overweight, stands up and turns around. And then turns back around and sits down again. And then it goes back to talking, and the Kenku kind of stands up,
Yeah, I'd imagine
flips
they'd,
into the restroom.
I'd imagine they'd still be silent for a good like minute after that happens.
So
It's quiet, but
obviously Kuda is sitting with the elders, but like when they want to talk,
Right.
They kind of like do this thing where they turn their backs and like lift their wings up, so it's kind of like an enclosed circle where like the wings are kind of like.
Right. So they do that, and the Goliath kind of respects it by doing a similar thing with his just arms, like this sort of thing. Just kind of sitting there, like Indian crisscross style, just sits, does this, similar to them, but much taller, so he doesn't stand up to do it, he's just sitting there doing that. And then they begin to talk a bit. You hear not much, just some words here and there about guild, clerk, that sort of thing, understaffed, and that's all you really catch of those 3 words. After
slavery.
Afterwards, one of the elders comes and asks you to join the circle, which is very rare to be included in one of these. So you come by, do the same wing out.
They kind of like
Join.
open it up and let me like
Right,
slide in.
right. They
Let me slide
engulf
into
your
your
wings
DMs.
in their wings.
Let me slide into your DMs, boys.
Slide into your minions.
And so they
Your
let you in,
winglets.
and one of the elders looks at you and goes, "So, this man here, he is from
You
the
missed it, we killed
Adventure
everybody.
Guild."
Oh. I have no idea how to work your teapot.
Oh, what's going on?
I don't know how to open it or anything. I can't figure it
Oh,
out.
the tea's already in here. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
It's
I'm
It's
like,
not a teapot. It's just an electric kettle. So it just makes hot water. What's going on? Oh, you brought your mug in there.
Yeah, I went to go get tea and then I was like, what is this contraption?
Again, ask, because I would have told you. I just
Whoa.
spilled
Napkins.
some, I think I spilled
Too
some.
noise.
No, I didn't spill some.
Fatality!
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
we just take turns.
But that
writing
is
fatality,
genuinely
all caps in the general
that is genuinely
chat of Discord, and everyone else is like,
What's going on?
Buddy,
Buddy, fun!
I would have told you and would have been fine. Either way, it's fine. I just am like would have saved you time. You wouldn't have lost a little bit of detail.
Oh wait, remind me of your name again?
Kenzi?
Kenzi. Kenzi.
Mhm.
There you go.
Cool.
What was your name, sir, that asks names?
No, Patrick.
Patrick.
I've always been bad with names. I'm trying to write them down for that reason.
Oh, no, that's
I missed it.
Yeah, me too,
Thank you.
honestly.
Patrick, Hannah, Kenzi, Pyro, Cuatro,
One of you is going to get
Jeremiah.
a tea bag. Yes.
Cool.
One of you is going to get a bag
I'll
just
eat it.
dripped into your thing.
So in 8th grade, I like drank tea every morning,
Mhm.
and one day I like took my tea bag out of my like travel mug. In the middle of class, my friend wasn't paying attention. It
I
was
did
like
actually
sitting
spill
there.
some of it. Right.
It was just like sitting there. I like placed
Yep.
the
there,
tea bag
yeah.
It's fine.
in her hand unexpectedly, and she like jumped. It's like, what are you doing? I'm like causing problems. Causing problems, obviously.
What are you doing? Being a menace.
I'm so happy with this
I go
group.
with myself.
Alright, so, this man
I got
is
music
from
in my
the
mind.
Adventuring Guild. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Right. Well, the Adventuring Guild recently had a group of clerks retire. So they are short-handed right now, and we're wondering if we have anyone that we could offer as a clerk, which
Still on the border of rain and shine.
or anyone that
That's
we can
Alabama for
offer
you.
to serve temporarily before becoming a member of the army. And this is very quiet, but it also is very solemn. So, just to add that in, because like I know I was getting quiet, but it's not because it's gentle; it's solemn. We thought that it would be a good idea for you to go, as one of our older hatchlings, and someone with a very good adventurous spirit. Your captain speaks very highly of you, and your trick with the spyglass today even shows that.
Consequences to your actions.
We're basically all getting drafted into the military.
Oh no, that hasn't come yet. You're not even in yet. I'm not
I'm
going to
not even
consequence them for your deeds.
No, I meant like consequent. Like I'm like
Stealing the spyglass.
no, I'm
Stealing
like
spyglass.
you
So-
stood out too much.
Even your deed with the spyglass shows your cleverness and your bravery. So we thought that it would be best if you went.
How long will I be gone?
He doesn't really say.
Being drafted.
The temporary position would be somewhere around 3 or 4 months. So it would be a decent time, but after that would be mostly up to you. This is your decision, but this would put our tribe on the map a bit, and would also gain some good honor and respect for us that we've wanted for a while from the guild. And Twig here, and Twig at this point goes, "Hello," and gives you like a really big friendly smile.
I love Twig.
Like,
Ugh.
Wands,
He does
scimitar,
that,
then
and the
have,
elder's just like,
daggers.
very, very clearly, he should not have interrupted there. It was bad. But so the elder goes, he has assured us that the guild would also additionally make some ships take some routes around our island, giving us a little more protection from the bugbears that have been recently attacking. And also,
Looks of the pirate.
it would also give a good increase in trade. We would get more supplies and resources to build our tribe more.
You're being sold to.
I'm being sold.
So
We're being
ultimately, it is your decision.
willingly
We
drafted.
will not give you over to
There's no
them just
willing.
over nothing.
Well, I mean,
We will, if you don't
they
want
tried
to
to
go,
win Captain's favor
we
for
will
me.
not let you go. We will defend what you want, as is our tribe's way. I just wanted you to be aware of the situation and make an informed decision.
He like sits thoughtfully for a little bit. He's like,
Take your time.
like
And they kind of offer you to go back to eating if you wish.
And then after like a few minutes, I go kind of back to them.
Okay.
And like, I'll do it.
I was going to
To bring-
patterns to her, but I wasn't sure.
I'm going to bring honor to our tribe.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate your sacrifice is the wrong word.
Dedication.
Dedication. Bravery. You've always been brave. And with that, they dismiss you again. Continue talking with Twig. And then after the meal, Twig invites you aboard.
I
Kind of
gotta
walks
go
you
say
up.
goodbye to Bebo.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You go
must
say goodbye to
Bebo.
Bebo. You enter his little dwelling place, and he's in bed.
Bebo's canonically your little brother.
His injury, just for more information for y'all. Bebo was trying to fly
Broke all his limbs.
and forgot to fill up his water pouch, and so
Bebo.
whereas the natural instinct for them is jump out of nest, flap wings repeatedly,
Fall.
and if you fall, you're gonna land on the water thing and be fine.
Yeah, like land directly on his chest.
Right. Or well, it's not really on his chest. It's more
Bebo.
here.
Oh, okay.
So you land with your legs curled up, and it cushions a bunch. It's like a spring.
Oh, it's kind of like, have you ever seen skateboarders on like ramps and they do the knee slide when they fall off their skateboards?
Kind of. It's
Yeah.
similar to that, but it's more. It's more like landing on your butt with a pillow,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
but instead of landing on your butt with a pillow, you land on your feet and push your feet into your butt with a pillow. And it cushions all the way around. Because he forgot to fill it up, this particular injury, he jumped out of the nest, tried to flap, failed, and instead of landing and being cushioned, he landed and broke his joint here, his leg here, and his joint here. So his leg was like, the bone was like cracked like that.
Shattered his entire
It's
femur.
like something that
It
might
wasn't
cripple
like
him.
spiral fracture or anything, but it was a hard break, and it was a hard like out of socket.
And like
on
given
both
the
of these
technology of Dungeons and Dragons, like this is something that could cripple him for life.
No,
or alternatively cure
Uh,
wounds.
okay.
this is not something that would cripple him, but this is something that knocks him out for like months.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
healing
yeah.
magic. Is
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't have modern technology, but we do have magic.
You do have magic. You
He
do
can
have
still
magic.
try to fly, but his trying to fly is now, instead of jumping from like a high place and having 2 minutes or so to like flap, it is
He jumps from the table.
he jumps from the table, tries to flap some, and lands very, very painfully on a broken limb.
Oh, people.
And
we
so
have
it's
to-
very.
We need to find a cleric for Bebo.
I mean, I'm going to become a cleric at some
I
point.
bring you back for Viva.
So it is very, very painful. So him trying to fly is like, whenever the captain was like, we can toast to his bravery for trying to fly anyways, that is like, not her being like, he's being brave, he's a young kid.
It's like
That's
he's actually.
he's actually doing something that a lot of adults would not do. That is very
That's why
important
he's
for him
my
to do.
little brother.
Yeah, Bebo's canonically
So you
your
go
brother.
in and his leg is bandaged up really hard. He's still got like the wooden splint sort of thing catching his leg and keeping it like this. Has like a single crutch on this side, and kind of holds onto to the wall as you walk in, and kind of like bounces over towards you, very staggered. Kuda, how are you? How's the patrol?
Who's good? Oh, buddy, sit down.
Okay, he's okay.
We
And he gets to a chair.
scared off a pirate ship.
Ooh, what
Here, I
was
got this for you.
Early 20s.
And give him the spyglass. I took it from the bugbear captain.
And he looks in it the opposite
wait.
way around.
No, nobody. Other way. Yeah.
Your eyes are pretty.
Thank you. Okay. Now I have something important to tell you though.
Okay.
Me when I discovered the
Something
spyglass in
important.
my
Put it down. Okay. I need you to pay attention to me. No.
You off
Bebo.
He puts it, he puts it down on like his bed,
What did you do
like
when you stole it
in
from a
the
pirate
arm
captain?
of like a
Yeah.
teddy bear.
Mhm.
And the teddy bear is not a bear. It's like a
Teddy bird.
no, it's not a bird. It's like a stuffed plant.
Yeah.
Is what it
Stuffed.
is what it looks
Stuffed
like.
halfling? Question mark.
You know it to be of the Venerians, the plant people that went extinct in the war 300 years ago.
And now they make
Oh.
stuffed animals out of them.
No, not out of them.
It's like having a stuffed dinosaur.
Oh,
Roosevelt style.
It's like making a stuffed dinosaur.
Okay, of them. I'm
Although
sorry.
more recent. It's like if we made a stuffed African
Jew.
elephant.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Where it's like bad, but also not bad. But so, I don't know why I just
Well, the
remembered that.
difference is the Venerians were intelligent.
You're
And
sentient.
It's more like if Hitler succeeded and we made stuffed Jews.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's end this
That's-
conversation.
Yeah, no, so it's a stuffed Venerian.
Or like a stuffed Neanderthal doll.
Oh yeah.
Stuffed
Yeah.
Neanderthal. There are stuffed cavemen dolls.
Yeah. So I'm like-
so it's that he sticks a spyglass like big spyglass compared to the plant, and the plant person is like this, and so he stuffs it like right in the arm crook.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
When you're-
so it looks like it's like a pirate Venerian now.
Yeah.
And it has like the hat that he made earlier out of like some paper.
Mm.
This is what we're gonna be
And so
doing.
he kind of like looks at it very pleased, and then looks at you and goes, "Yes, okay,
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go away for a little while. It's like
okay."
I'm going on a patrol,
Okay.
but for a long time, with some other people not from the island.
Ooh.
Do you know what the Adventuring Guild is? It's a lot of very important people, and they protect the peace. You know the story about the war, the treaty.
Oh,
Yeah.
the guild.
Yeah, the guild
Okay, yeah.
that keeps the peace.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go help them for a little bit.
You're gonna save the world?
No, not like that. I'm just gonna help them with some like little stuff.
And he like looks down for a second, and then you can tell this. You see this like, you know the smile when kids get like information that you know is wrong, but it's
Yeah.
like the best thing in the world for them,
Yeah.
and so they will just like not listen to reason about it.
Yeah.
He gets that giant grin and is like, And he like yells to someone he sees passing in the hall, and he's like, "Kuda's gonna save the world!"
I'm like,
Ironically, that's gonna probably be
And it's an adult. It's not one of the elders, but it's close to being one of the elders. Walks by, hears that, and is like,
Here you go, kid.
not to you. He does that to Bebo, and then looks at you and goes, and walks away. Kind of like, I know what's going on.
yeah. And I'm like,
I know you're not actually saving the world.
it's
That's
like,
fine.
okay, buddy, but I'm gonna go away for a little bit.
For now.
For a little while.
Yeah, that's not the plan.
Because I have to go help them.
Okay.
But I'm doing it for us. I'm doing it for the tribe. It's gonna help us a
But you'll
lot.
come back, right?
I'll come back.
Okay.
There's
Maybe.
gonna be a lot more people around because the guild's gonna send.
Good
They're
people?
gonna change. Yeah, it's good people. They're gonna
Not
trade.
Not bugbears.
No, not
Okay,
bugbears. They're gonna send people to help us with the bugbears, and there's gonna be more people. They're gonna have new things from outside the island. There's gonna be more traders around.
Any
It's this
toys?
wonderful new thing
Probably,
called
yeah.
bread.
Birds can't eat bread.
I was making a joke. The best thing since sliced bread.
Oh yeah.
You pull enough of brave and
Will
bring
you-
him
will
back a
you,
toy crossbow.
Yeah.
Will you bring me something back?
I'll
Of
send him
course I
back an
will.
enchanted crossbow. I'm giving this kid a +3.
So you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna miss you. I know. You like.
Who's gonna save the world? And then he just like
Flash.
leans towards you onto that leg and just
I work with him though, so now I just have 4 daggers.
and he
instead
kind of
of
like
crossbow.
I'm gonna like take a few minutes to like preen his feathers for him because he's been like having mobility
and
issues.
he like twists in his chair and like gives you a big hug.
So-
With the side that is not hurt.
Question:
And
like,
then
what does
you do
Bevo's
the
like
screen hug as well.
Aarakocra like bird look like?
Do you know what a phoebe is?
What?
A phoebe.
What?
Hold on.
What?
I will pull up a picture. I just want
I'll tell you what.
to like make sure I have a firm mental image of Bebo.
We all need a firm mental image of Bebo.
I know, right?
I'm getting it. Hold on.
I'm gonna like take the time
It's
to
really
like go
funny
ahead
because I
and preen
think
his
Bebo's
feathers
gonna be
for
like
him.
a prey bird, and it's really funny because you're a bird of prey.
So,
Oh yeah, which
He's
bird?
my
Which
adopted
bird species did you say?
osprey.
They're the birds that
This
like, go and
is-
catch stuff out of it.
This
They
is what
dive.
he looks like,
Got
Oh, I
like-
love Bebo.
but like
Bebo.
But a
with
human.
humanoid.
I need to
Okay, yeah,
see this.
Bebo's adorable.
This is
Bebo has no choice but to be adorable.
Oh,
Bebo's
Oh my
cute.
god.
awesome.
That is
Imagine-
perfect.
Yabibo.
Is that what you were expecting?
Yeah.
He's a little chunky bird.
That's great.
I was expecting a mini vulture.
Oh my god, imagine if he was a vulture.
Bebo is a good kid.
Oh, it's adorable.
Bebo's a fluff.
Have you
Are you
seen
racist
the-
against vultures?
Have you seen the
No.
freaking I
Like-
forget which vulture they are, but they're like
Turkey hen?
no, they live way up in like the mountains and stuff.
Condors?
No, and they take their prey's bones and everything, and they'll drop them at such high heights that
Oh,
it
it cracks
shatters,
open
and
and
then they
And
eat it.
then they.
Isn't it?
That is what a baby vulture looks like.
I mean, that is
Okay,
also
that is adorable.
That's actually pretty cute.
Yeah.
Not Bebo though.
Not Bebo.
Not Bebo.
Not Bebo.
Not Bebo.
Bebo's the Phoebe.
Bebo is a round orb.
He's a round board.
Yes.
Phoebes actually are native to Alabama, by the way.
Oh, sick.
That's probably why I didn't know they existed.
Okay. So with
Throw
that,
that into the chat so you... My files are too powerful.
Bebo is too powerful.
Bebo is too powerful.
I'm gonna throw that into catacombs.
I want to come back to we all need to go to this island, the end of campaign, and Bebo's just gonna be like a super grown up, like super powerful, like leader of the tribe, or leader of the island, or
Dude,
something.
I'm gonna send so many magic items to Bebo. As soon as I in character learn of Bebo's existence, I'm gonna send him so many magic items.
you probably shouldn't. He's not the brightest.
What if I send him like a
That's
magic?
the point, though.
What if I send him like a magic stuffed dancing bear?
Oh, okay. A magic stuffed dancing Venerian.
It's one of those cards that it's one of the it plays some sort of music as it's dancing, and it's one of those cards that don't stop playing when
Oh
you
my
close it.
They'll just like destroy it. They're like, sorry, They're like, sorry, Bebo. I don't know
like-
where it went.
It's like one of those cards that's supposed to stop when you close it, but it
It
just
doesn't.
doesn't.
Yeah.
We commissioned like a wizard to make magical trinkets that just do like silly, stupid stuff like, oh, Bebo, look, it's magic.
Or an artificer, wink.
We come up against a big bad that we
So-
can't defeat,
And
and
I
we
just,
just
like,
transport
so,
it to people.
So
Evil take care of
You
it.
die!
Bebo like
Bebo.
Bebo.
Not if we give him the +3
What if we get a-
crossbow.
take
What if
care
we
of
get
his
him a
plumage,
cursed
make sure
sword?
it's correct. and
Oh,
all.
no. No.
No,
Head
like
off
one of the like
the
sentient
ship.
swords. He has a friend.
Yeah, because at this point, I think I've already said goodbye
We
to
need to make
everyone.
him a
Okay,
sentient
so you
weapon.
get
It
onto
was
the
like my
ship.
last visit.
You get onto the ship. You are
Bebo
taken
has
to a
a
different spot as
friend.
her, so you don't really see each other that much
Mhm.
throughout the trip. I'll get back to the adventuring guild and
We're coming
dropped
back
off,
to Bebo
similar to
and
them
taking him
two.
with us.
And we will wait until I get through with his stuff to get all that done. Because again, don't want to repeat it like 6 times.
So then
Cuatro,
now,
why have you made us wait so long? It's clearly your fault, and not just that we keep derailing the conversation.
I mean,
so the
also,
4 of us now are at
his
the.
backstory, sure.
like-
Your backstory, we don't know much. Those two, quite a bit.
Listen,
They're-
Kuda's an
they'll-
attention whore.
All right.
Let me just say that you caught her at the tail end of her backstory.
I know. I'm very aware.
I'm
In
sure
the-
we all appreciated the details about Bebo, because I
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
No, I could work with more details about Bebo.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make that.
I could roleplay with Bebo all
I'm
day.
gonna get him like boots of flying because you know he has issues with that.
Oh my word, that would just be...
In the rocky cliff sides of the crags rests a large cave where shops and workplace. Did you start recording again?
Yeah, it's been going ever since you got back after the break.
Okay, I just
yeah.
wanted to make sure. All right. 'Cause
We can't miss
we gotta-
Bebo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't miss Bebo. Okay.
We'd have to
In
restart.
the rocky cliff sides of the crags rests a large cave where shops and workplaces litter the walls. Within this cave is one shop. On the sign out front of the shop rests a hand-painted, nice sign. Lionel's Lint and Flint. In the store is a large, friendly Goliath, and an old dwarvish man, who, upon the consistent friendliness and insistence of the Goliath, has grown agitate.
Lionel's being LIONALDS.
You'll find out more about
L-I-O.
that in a minute.
I'll throw the name out into the wolf
There's-
channel.
Alright.
Okay, come on. Yeah,
There will
there's
you
story.
can talk about it later.
Yeah, I will.
I was trying to get
I
notes.
will.
In this store is the
Wait,
Goliath and all.
what's
They've grown agitated.
524.
Sir, I respect your right to withhold that information. Oh wait, wrong person. Sir, I respect your right to withhold that information, but it would be really helpful to know from you the easy way instead of me having to go around asking and get the wrong information that I have to sift through. It would be much more of an ordeal, and you wouldn't be paid more as an author. And why don't you want to help me? Oh well, if you'd find it anyways. Look, I ain't gonna tell you nothing about who made that. That wasn't our deal. Now you can pay me and get out with your item, or you can leave the item and give me the money anyhow. Either way, I don't have the information for you, and you can leave. I just don't understand why you're being so hostile to me. I've been nothing but kind. And then it continues escalating as the dwarf very obviously is irritated by the niceness of the Goliath.
He's too nice.
It goes on for back and forth a bit, when at the highest peak of the argument, an equally looking old satyr wanders into the shop. I said no! Now back off, jackass! Oh!
Oi, Linty! Your sign's still wrong!
Cuatro, introduce your character.
Okay,
and describe what you're doing.
so, I am Barragur, a squat, satyr that, has somewhat thick hair, but not, like, matted. A beard that has just a few speckles of black in it.
Can I ask how we spell Berger?
Barragur, it's, Barugur. Have fun.
Burger!
Berger.
Very good.
Burger!
Barragur, and he gets very irate if you pronounce it wrong.
I mean, there
He's,
was someone I played with whose name was Bob Burger
following
Riley.
behind his heels is
Barragur.
a small metal goat named Lionel. You forgot that was his name.
You never told me.
I did actually. It's in our
Wait,
chat.
how tall is everybody? Just like
I'm
I
a
haven't figured.
little above 3 foot tall.
30?
3.
3. I was about to say.
When I said short and squat, I meant short and squat.
And
I
what
have
was your
not-
name again?
Barracuda. Barugr. UGUR.
UGUR.
Eugene.
As you stop in the doorway, your metal goat kind of like thunk into your ankle and like bounces back a couple steps,
Why don't go get Lindsay, you?
and then it
Yes.
bounds over and jumps onto the
I'm gonna
bar
the guy.
essentially.
Who's this dull fucker?
And Twig looks over and goes, "I'm just a customer. I just want to know who made."
And you're
this."
buying from this asshole? Let me tell you, mate. Down the street, there's a much better blacksmith.
Lindsay goes, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Lindsay, you know what I'm saying is true, you jackass.
Okay, but I gotta work a business here.
Yeah? Well, get better then.
And he goes back. He goes back to just like counting money or what he was doing. And Twig turns to you and goes, "Sir, I don't know." And Lindsay jumps like out from behind the counter and goes,
Sir!
"Hey, you're talking with me, not with him."
Lindsay,
And it's very clear.
you're
Lindsay
being much
does
more of
that.
a jackass than normal.
And he like, and Twig holds up
Did he
an
put it in
item
yet?
that
Did he
you
put
made,
Lionel in the chat yet?
What you doing with that, mate?
that Lindsay asked you to make and paid you for.
Lindsay, you're selling my shit, mate. Lindsay, if
And
you were
he-
this
he-
broke,
he, like,
you could
looks
have asked
down-
me for some money.
It's not that I'm broke, you idiot.
Well, your
It's,
antique store says otherwise. Oh yeah. By the way, Barracuda's like, you know that like grouchy
came into my
old man on the street corner?
Yeah.
That's him.
Oh my god.
That like
came-
has a bunch, like just does stuff like, and just says things.
He came
Yeah,
into my
and-
shop wanting a magic item. I told him I didn't do that shit. Like, that's not me.
Yes, it's right next door from my shop, you jackass.
And so I told him
Even
I
if you
told
can't
him
get business,
that I
you can at
didn't
least
do
send it to me.
I wouldn't do it. He insisted. I said that he could find you, that he'd go to a different shop. I offered your shop, and he was like, "I trust you. You organize it."
You trust this guy? Man, you're a sucker.
And Twig stays silent as Lindsay just goes, "So I took his order, gave it to you. That's what I offered, what I asked you about.
Ah,
Now he
just letting you know, mate. I don't do commissions normally.
does, or he wants to offer you a place where you can work with resources that he would provide."
I turn around. I'm playing the character.
I know. That's why I'm saying hold on, because I don't know if I know the character.
Derailed already.
Yeah, derailed real hard. Okay.
I'm an old grouchy man.
Yeah, I know that.
Not gonna lie, Thorn nearly did tell the captain to fight for the gold. But then she was like,
normally.
That sounds like a
I'll be
hustle.
coming up with this on the
We said
spot.
goat was gonna be
I think
named
they're, like,
Jarrell.
Oh,
On the
Gerald,
tolerant.
I messed
We
up.
can keep it Lionel.
I
I like that
think
better. I
Lionel's
think that's
funnier.
funnier. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Lionel's funnier.
Okay. Crap. Okay. Sorry, I have like
I
the
can just
gears
look up
going.
this.
Yeah.
No, I
I
found
did that
it.
on purpose.
Okay, so
What is it?
Sounds like too much of a hustle, you big oaf.
Well, you could make whatever you wanted.
Say that again, mate.
You could make whatever you want.
Can I charge whatever I want to?
Can you what?
Can I charge whatever I
I
want?
would say 5 to 10. That works. That's within the range.
You would be making it for us. And
You're
we
gonna
would
pay me,
provide-
right?
We would provide everything you need.
So you're gonna give me the materials and let me build what I want, and you're gonna pay me for it.
I mean, yes. I thought
Where
that was
do I
obvious.
sign up, you big sucker?
And Lindsay goes, "Hey, well, hold on."
Lindsay, let me make some money. I'll send your broadcast some of it.
Alright. And Lindsay looks very upset and kind of frustrated. And Twig kind of like
3 foot.
Twig kind
Oh,
of
like
like
3 foot 4.
does the reach into his bag thing. puts it on the ground, opens it up, and actually gets out a scroll, like paper scroll, pulls the string, hands it out to you. It is a contract that basically says something along the lines of
Is that your equipment
you'll
on
get
the
paid a
back?
reasonable amount.
What?
Is that your equipment on the back?
You'll
Yeah,
get
just notes.
provided for
Oh, this is my notes.
based on what you make.
Because I forgot to bring up paper.
So it's basically just like you would have a second,
Yes, I have as much
I'm
equipment
gonna
on
take
me.
up. I'm gonna look at the contract,
a second shop where your materials are given to you.
and I'm gonna just
Take a lot of
check that there's a
notes.
clause that says
They look
I can
better
make
than
what I
mine.
want. I can choose what I make.
It says very clearly the
Mine's just brief
signee.
descriptions of a lot of things.
I, as an
Most
employee
mine
of the
too,
guild,
plus some of the jokes.
will make the guild items. I, as an employee of the guild within this contract, am allowed to make whatever type, whatever amount of items that I wish to make, and will be compensated for that amount.
I'm gonna add a
So it's
clause that
essentially-
if they request a specific item, I'm gonna ask to add a clause. If I get requested to make a specific item, the fees are doubled.
Twig goes, okay, yeah.
And I can say no. And I can't say no.
If I add that clause, will you sign it?
Can I get 30% more on this? What this is?
He's milking it. He's milking it hard.
10%.
25.
Make a charm save.
Persuasion.
Whatever the save would be to avoid being persuaded. Or I guess, yeah, a combat persuasion.
Oh god. Plus 0 because I'm proficient.
Because I'm proficient?
Now one!
First
I'm
one!
too much of an asshole!
0%. And he writes the clause on it, hands it back to you, and goes, take it or leave it.
You're the one that's coming here for me. You didn't know I'm the best enchanter on this island, right?
And you're going to sign. And you're already like.
I'm like staring up at him. I will headbutt you in the nuts.
And he goes, please don't.
I'm like, Jar, ramming speed. By the way, Gerald is
Who is Gerald?
Is it Lionel?
Is it Lionel or Gerald?
Right.
Okay.
Sorry, Lionel. Okay, he has.
We need a set name, or
Okay,
you need to give him
Lionel.
a nickname, and his name is this, his nickname is this. We can do that.
I enjoy how
Lionel.
Okay,
I enjoy-
Lionel, ramming speed.
And it just jumps off of the deck. It jumps off of the bar,
Yeah.
and it's a few feet, so it jumps off of the bar and just lands directly here. So not like the
I
nuts,
know.
but boom, and hits with enough force. The Goliath goes,
I'm gonna let you know this, mate. This contract right here is less than my normal fees. So you're gonna make it 15% to make it at least equal to my normal fees. Come on.
You already not failed.
yeah, you nat failed.
I know.
He will look.
He's just.
He's going to look at you and
I
go,
know. He's just being
He's
a
going to look at.
jackass.
He's going to look at you and he's going to say, "You have the contract."
I knew that was gonna come,
And
but like
he
out of
turns
character,
around and starts walking away.
Burger's just being a jackass.
Right. He turns around and starts walking away.
Fine, you big oaf.
There we go.
Okay.
I also like how your metal goat is Lionel, and also the name of the other person's shop is Lionel's.
Yes, that was intentional.
I enjoy that.
Right.
It's actually his name is Lenty.
I know that's why I'm saying like
His
he.
name-
No, it's
his
not a
real
nickname.
name
His real
is
name is
Lindsay.
Lenty.
For his shop, he goes by the name Lionel, and the sign says Lionel.
His sign is spelled wrong for his fake name,
Oh!
and he's just too lazy.
So
to
there's
change
just an
it.
extra O in it where it should be.
Yes, and so every time I walk in the store, I yell at him that his sign is still effing wrong. And by the way, I have a store next door.
His nickname's Lindsay, but the metal goat is also
Lionel.
Lionel.
Alright,
You
so
stole the name from his metal
you
goat.
sign the contract.
I sign it grumbling and calling Twig several names.
And Twig happily takes it.
Okay, now where am I going?
Right, follow me.
By the way,
Starts walking.
I do not like Kenku.
Okay.
Oh no.
F.
All right.
Fatality!
Fatality!
We will work something else then.
I will not. I absolutely refuse to make something for a smelly crow.
Fair enough.
I wish I was a crow Aarakocra now. That was like, I just happened to be a crow, like not a
You get on the
character
boat
I
and you
know,
just
By
start
the way,
eating people with worms.
on his way out, Barugur grabs several things. He grabs some like finely crafted goggles that are, like have runes covering all over them. Some studded leather armor, all like along each pad has also delicately carved runes. So the leather armor is admittedly pretty shabby looking, and a very intricately made crossbow with a dragon head on the front of it and just details all over it that actually picture like funnily enough a satyr with a greatsword
Oh.
fighting a dragon, and I'll get more into what these are later,
Right. So,
and Lionel of course.
So, as you walk out with Twig, you exit the shop, start walking. You hear from behind you as Lindsay has stepped out of the shop. Hey, asshole!
What you
You're just
damn
gonna
bluff?
leave? You're just gonna leave without saying goodbye to your guy?
Fuck off!
And he points at you and is like, "That's my Barracuda."
I'm gonna put on my crossbow. Say something again, I'm gonna put a crossbow. I'll put
You
a crossbow
couldn't hit
hook in
anything.
your ass.
You couldn't hit anything with glasses on, you old kook. And walks back into the shop.
That's also a nat one.
And you shoot, and it goes.
You're going away.
It goes and goes up, tings off of like a metal point in the ceiling, and then strikes directly into your sign. And he goes. He laughs like a big old chuckling belly laugh, and then walks back into the shop.
I'm gonna very angry.
Good luck with your smithing, man.
I'm gonna look up at my sign.
Hope it's better than your shot.
Can you please help me with the arrow in my sign?
And the Goliath walks over quickly and
Thank you. I couldn't reach it.
hands it to you.
I am gonna say.
No, and as he hands it back to me, a crossbow bolt appears in my crossbow. I don't really keep these, mate. You can have it.
You can have it.
And as he puts it away, it disappears.
Puts it back down, sticks it in the bag,
And as
and
it
disappears.
sticks in the
I
bag,
am
it
gonna
just
say
vanishes.
that out of our entire party, Hawthorn is the tallest.
Are we expecting them to be small on the
I think
smaller
the
I
end?
don't
or-
know.
Goliath is the tallest.
Oh yeah,
Twig.
Twig's obviously
Twig's
gonna be the
the
tallest.
Okay.
But...
Twig is a permanent member of the
I
party.
think Barrager's ego
So
is
at
the
this
tallest.
point,
Oh.
so Twig takes you to
No,
a dock.
if you're going in terms of height, in terms of give a shit, Barracuda is the shortest by far.
So Barracuda and Twig go to
He's in his
go to
late
the dock.
60s, in case anyone's curious.
And there's the big, like, 5-mast, 4-floor ship. Now
Barracuda
with y'all
just
not
found
on it. Right there. And then some
I can use some
Kenkus start
shit
to, like,
for
throw
that
some ropes down, and Twig just kind of looks up at them and goes, Code 2! And then
Go, dude.
and then the ship, the ropes go back in, and then y'all continue walking.
Okay. Could I have one of those cells for a bit, laddie?
Yeah, if you
I
want.
think I want to try and enchant something to make this big hunk of wood move faster.
I could manage that.
I'm gonna need some.
We're actually not going to be on that ship. We're going to be on this one, and he points.
So you're telling me you show me the giant awesome ship and you don't put me on it?
Code 2, no
so-
Kenku.
I
Code
said
2
that-
is they go without it.
I determined that
He says-
as I found out about all the Kenku just to be like, just to mess with me.
So he says. So he
He's gonna
says.
mess with you right back.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So he says
That's where the fun comes in.
We will be going on that one.
and he points to
Based on
a
your
ship
visuals, that shit.
that is a 1-floor ship with a small mast, a small sail, and has the title SS Bullshit.
I'm gonna
Written
look
on
over at him.
Come on, missed opportunity to call the SS bullshit.
That's what I said.
Oh,
Oh.
I heard straight up bullshit.
I like the name.
Okay.
My
I hate the
bad.
ship, and I hate you even more.
And he goes, I know. And then steps onto the ship, and you can hear it audibly as the.
If I ever make an item
Planks
for you,
change.
it's going to explode.
I know.
I know.
And then he starts untying some of the fort stuff, and he yells out, "Hey Jim, is it ready?" And Jim, who pokes his head out, is a he's like 20-year-old in human years, like the equivalent for a halfling. And Jim kind of like pokes his head out and goes, "Wait, what?" And he goes, "Code 2, I said. Is it ready?" And Jim goes, and he looks at you and he goes, looks at the other ship, looks at you. I guess.
All because I said I don't like it too.
And he walks back inside, and Twig goes, "Good, thanks very much, Jim." And Jim goes, "No problem, Cap."
I'm assuming even below deck, as I'm just laying there in a hammock, I can hear the freaking
You're
angry
guys
You're
got
not,
satyr.
you're not on
Peanut.
the ship now.
We
Oh,
got
yeah,
that
yeah,
You guys got
Oh,
dropped off.
okay.
And I'm not even on that same ship.
Oh no, but you're so loud, I probably would have heard you.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm all in the
So,
flags just
But so
cursing like a sailor.
I can hear
you
them all
end
like
up,
Even
Peanut
though
Island.
I'm not.
you end up going with that ship, taking about twice as long. Very, very slow and painful, bumpy, seasick journey to Peanut Place.
You should have captioned it.
And you
Raging
don't
Scottish
go through the
accent.
depths with this ship, you go around in the shallow waters. So it takes you a lot longer.
I realize that now you're the only player character who will probably ever get seasick. Because the rest of us are all some experience of ship sailing.
Barracuda's, he's lived for a long time. He's gone on ships. He's just an asshole. That's all I can say about Barracuda. He's just an old grumpy man that is really, just really rude.
Okay, so
He's also he's also always been a bad guy.
okay, so you get to the AG, and Twig. For each person that got into the lounge, Twig tells you to wait calmly, and then
Calmly.
we will get to yours in a second. I know yours is going to be different. Tells you all the way on the island. Welcomes you to your respective homes on the island.
Elevator.
Which,
No, but I want to now.
crap, I need to go grab
I'll send you
something
the
real
link.
quick.
Peanut Place, right?
Yes.
Give me a second. I gotta grab my map.
So everybody, how's my character introduction?
I love it.
Has anyone else seen the Saturday Night Live skit of two Scottish men in an elevator?
Yeah.
I have not,
That's
but
what
it
he reminds
sounds
me of.
intriguing.
I'm just gonna say this out of character. He's probably gonna treat y'all like grandchildren.
Amazing.
So the idea.
And now I'm
behind-
jealous
the
because y'all
idea
have these
behind-
great intros. I'm like,
You guys,
Yeah, but I like
the height order
Yeah, you got a mystery
She is
going
a
on.
of just people who like in our party that are playing, not counting the Goliath. The order, she is the second tallest.
I go by the
She's an they're an Aarakocra. And they're the second tallest.
Aarakocra's generally smaller.
No, they're actually pretty huge.
That's what.
Okay.
That's to be expected them to be taller than.
I expected like bitty bird people.
No, that's the Kenku.
That's the
Aarakocra
Kenku.
are like fucking huge.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's probably
And
a
Satyr
couple
are short
chickadee
little people.
Aarakocra or something out there, but
I mean,
wait,
Viva's gonna be
wait,
short.
actually-
Viva's gonna be like 4
Who's
bucks.
the base? I think I have the base fastest running speed. 35.
30?
I have a 50 flying speed though.
I said walking.
I have a
Yeah.
20 climbing speed.
That's
Yo, stay Tabaxi.
Both of us just
I can
want to
just-
race to the top.
DM's bringing
Don't
out a
munch it,
whiteboard.
who?
Ooh, oh, it's peanut plus for a
Peanut
reason.
I'm gonna turn the bulk ship into a absolute war machine. By the way, I'm gonna like take steam methods and turn them make a steam engine.
So it's safe to say you're an artificer.
Yes, I'm indeed an artist.
Like one of those.
Can we make
Like
the
one of
ship
those-
the barbarian now?
We have the technology.
Oh yeah, but the whole idea behind Barracuda was grouchy grandpa guy that makes that dotes on the party and makes magic items real.
Mm.
And I'm probably gonna be.
So
an
that's who we're gonna get magic items for people.
Yes. That's what I was saying. I was gonna get all these sorts of crazy magic items for Bebo, because I can make them.
Oh boy.
Hey, Jeremiah, where's your bathroom?
In the house. Can you use
There
it?
is no bathroom.
Yeah.
I will show you in a second.
We need a
What, like my dog?
bathroom. Like your dog.
You know how there's
Sonic
like those
Jail,
cats
I
of
open all the
illusion and
windows.
stuff? Like that for Bebo,
I
except it
also-
just changes his
I
feathers
also
different
did
colors.
not get any damage in cantrips. I have light and message.
Yo, RGB gamer feathers.
Okay, so Sorcerer, you're gonna be your magic items for you are gonna be harder. Rogue and Rogue, magic items are pretty predictable for that, and
Blood
kind of similar
Hunter.
to you. Yeah, I'll give you a magic sword and you'll be happy.
I already have a sword. You can just enchant it and make it look better.
True, but then you won't have a sword for a couple months.
While
Sure.
I make maps, we'll be talking.
Yes.
Alright, do you want me to pause the audio?
Go for it.
Alright.
Yes, with our idle chat.
Yes.
Let's see
But
this.
no, I
So the island is at. It kind of cuts through the Arctic, like that. Part of the island, part of the outside, in the waters. So the island itself is divided up in regions similar to how the world is. There are 5 of them. There's the desert regions, which are right next to the Adventuring Guild, which is this building here. That is where the ruins are, like where broken down buildings and like shops and places that have been just beaten and destroyed and demolished in order to replicate the ruins that exist in the deserts. And then there's a nice village area for those that don't want that anymore. It's kind of split like that. And that's where desert diplomats and stuff go. It's the more hot area of the island, the closest thing that they could get. The Arctic region has the land which is kind of iced over and the water which is kind of like cold and bitter, less salty. And it is controlled, like temperature-wise, by 3 magical towers. Ice Tower 1, 2, and 3. Which cast a like ice spell over this whole area, protecting it and keeping it icy. The aquatic area is off the coast, closer to the aquatic depths are like here. So it is right there, closest to the depths, and is water-based, similar to their homelands. The Kragic region is on the bottom right, rocks. It has more cave structuring. Tropics are similar to the bungalows that you're used to living in the tropics. And then miscellaneous waters don't get representation because they're not land. So, sucks to suck.
Indeed.
So, as a, oh wait,
Put it up on the table.
Second
I
and
guess
knock.
that works. I'm a little worried about it.
Yeah,
You put Lane up against the wall.
yeah, just do the wall. Just do the
I'm just
wall.
gonna do my legs.
That works.
Twig gets you here, and he introduces you, Fang, who is a Tabaxi.
Yes.
What is your character name again?
Gale of the Bell, but I guess Tabaxi is just Gale, because a lot of
Gale.
Tabaxis like have like one word of their whole name that they go by a lot of times, just Gale.
Okay, so Gale, you are from the waters, so he will take you and bring you to a place in the Kragic region, like here-ish. It is a house that is entirely made of stone, and has been kind of overlaid with some wood, and they've kind of like hosed it down to be more wet. And
Alright.
Twig kind of goes,
We do not have a water region yet, so this is sadly the best that I can do to replicate your usual surroundings.
It's quite alright. I thank you for what you've done here.
Thank you for being here.
and then lets V introduce you to the place and informs you that there will be an upcoming training session for the new recruited team. Once everyone arrives, the session will be scheduled in hand, but they're still waiting on some.
The session will be scheduled.
Where'd my cap go?
Is it on your pen?
It's gone. I ate it.
It's on your lap.
There's. I was about to say, that's not a pet. That's not a cat. Okay. Aarakocra lady.
That's
Well,
not
that's human. That's a human.
Aarakocra.
That is a human. That's
Aarakocra
Nerfed.
guy
Aarakocra
or human
guy?
guy?
Not lady, my bad. Guy.
I'm the
Aarakocra
lady.
guy. Aarakocra guy.
Not me. You keep looking
Burp.
at me.
Just call
Eric
it.
Cock- Aarakocra guy.
Borb. Why are you looking at her?
Because she said you keep looking at me, so I just enforced that. You were brought to there.
I'll have so much room.
Room.
Damn it!
No!
F.
You get no room.
I get a singular tree branch.
You were brought to
Being on, I'm
a small
take care of me.
birch tree in the tropic area. It has a small, like, you know, the size of a pallet?
Yeah.
It has like 2 or 3 pallets worth of triangle made,
Mm-hmm.
with some covered up straw over top,
Mm-hmm.
with a small bed of like leaves, and with a small drawer for your things. He takes you there and says, I don't know much about Aarakocra life. I'm a Goliath and all. But I was told that it's more small and minimalist, with more of a focus on being together than being apart. So, would this do, or do you need more?
No, it's fine. That's suitable.
Okay, thank you. And so, you get that. That is your place.
I think Twig doesn't want to deal with my shit.
Human lady, not human guy, human lady. You are from the Crads, right?
Yes.
Did you express any disinterest in being in the Crags? Like, if he asked you where you're from, what would you say?
Crags. Probably.
Crag gang.
Okay. Then he will take you and will put you kind of like you're here.
Okay.
Oh, didn't she also
Put you,
dropped off
like,
with Patrick? No, Gale.
Here.
And we were on.
They were on the same load, right? So.
This is not necessarily in the right chronology. This is just me saying.
Oh, I
where you
guess
are.
this is. I guess arriving on the island would be my first time meeting Twig.
Right.
For both of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we came here
So we
on.
were just told, hey, there's a job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's we just like
Twig
Twig's
did
just
not
here to
buy
help.
you two. You two came here willingly.
We came here.
Those
We
two
both
were
came here on the
bots.
TAV
y'all,
tour.
y'all two were dropped
You were
off
bought
the
already-
too.
step
No, I'm employed. There's a difference.
of the
I'm a
the guild.
contractor.
Whenever you get there, it is a big building with like 15-foot large, tall, like 5-foot wide. Wait. Large doors. I'll have to find those specifics
I
later.
mean, it's
Large
built by a
doors.
Goliath.
Mm.
Glass, and is
Couldn't go over my door.
Built to
brilliantly
accommodate a
decorated.
Goliath.
That's fair.
Opening up the doors
He's good.
is like almost impossible trying to pull on it. But you get to the porch, like the awning, and your captain, the Tabaxi captain, kind of walks up and goes,
What do you want?
"Hello, I've got your recruits here." Very obviously like annoyed that didn't work.
Mm.
And the doors and start to slowly open, no one pushing them. Just open on their own. And out walks Twig, who goes,
Hi, sorry about that. Our staff is low, so I wasn't able to. I didn't Sorry. These are the Tabaxi and human you told me about? Okay, cool. Come with me. I'm Twig, by the way. He seems kind of down today.
Shaking
Oh.
Kind of sad.
Good to meet you, sir.
Good to
I
meet you
feel
too.
like he just met somebody. I was.
To add to this, he has a ring on his finger when you meet him. So he's married, and you know that. And a heart locket around his neck as well, by the way.
Is he still
Canonically, that was already in the thing. It's just I didn't tell you about the ring.
wearing the ring?
He is.
Okay.
This is before you saw him.
Okay, I was just joking about how I verbally berated him.
No.
With
He's used
really,
to that.
With really no cause.
And he's used to that.
Because
Because he said, I
Oh
know.
no!
I know.
The guy gets abused at home.
No.
So,
We gotta get him a
he's
divorce
upset.
lawyer.
So he welcomes you on.
Barracuda
He
would be a great
goes,
divorce
Sorry
lawyer.
about,
Two that ones.
sorry I'm kind of down today. I had there was a summit last week about the treaty, and the aquatic depths they just didn't even show up. And I tried really hard to make them, like, comfortable here. I even went through efforts to make magical cliff sides in the water area. You know how it is. They just didn't show up, and
I feel bad
I
'cause
feel like
I'm
it just didn't.
bullying
It wasn't
him.
as special without them there. So,
They keep bullying him, but still, it's terrible.
so yeah.
He bullies him, but secretly
Anyways,
leaves behind like
There will be a
nice stuff.
training for all the recruits when they all get here. Y'all two are the first. So if you'll follow me, I'll show you where you live. Drops you off. You're almost at the same spot. You're a little bit away. It's a very different house for you. Yours is not like wet and yours is not like moist and wood. Yours is stone and rock, like what you would have in the crags, with a wooden built cushiony bed. Yours just has like a wooden plank, like
Oh, no.
cot
I feel like
with
this
some,
is
hay, with some
racist.
hay on it.
I mean, it's stuff that's what would be on a ship. What
Yeah,
would be on
like
a
a
ship?
hammock.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you got like some. It's not really like yarn. It's more twine. There's
Okay,
a ball.
now that's racist.
There's a ball of twine that's set on your pillow,
No, that is racist.
and a small note in front of it that we can read if you read it now or if you read it later.
I'll take a look at it.
Okay, it says something along the lines of, "I didn't know what exactly would entertain you.
It is racism.
F.
I apologize if this seems insensitive, but I figured
Do I get one of those like bird
Cats.
toy swingy things?
cats like yarn, or cats like twine and playing with strings. I figured you could use it to hang up some decorations, or use it to throw some things together, organize your stuff.
That's what we get
You
for
tie it
saying.
into a volleyball
Or, you
and
know,
throw
whatever
it
you
at
wanna do
him
with
each
it.
time he walks in the door.
Figured it would be a good,
Just a
yeah.
reminder of
just a reminder of
Don't
home
worry,
or something.
Barracuda will.
I get like one of those like swingy things.
You get none of the sort. You just get bed.
Okay.
I'm holding the note
You
in
get
one
a
hand,
comfy
holding
bed,
like the
You
vault.
get a
I'm
racist
like,
toy.
I'm looking. I'm like, well, at least he's trying, I suppose.
You like secretly play with it later that night.
Yeah, like,
You get bored and you start like wall
You're like-
balling it.
And then it starts to unroll, and you just. It's up to you to decide whether you do that.
don't worry, I'll make him an exploding pen later.
So,
Every time you write the word the, it
you
explodes.
are brought to that shack thing.
Every letter E is just an
there's-
ink blot.
Oh, that's evil.
There's nothing there. It's just like it's in a tree, and there's not a ladder or rope. So it's like assumed
make
that
that.
you would fly up there.
Yeah.
And gift it to him.
That's the subtle undertone of microaggression there.
Yeah.
And hers is that you had to have a comfortable bed in a stone place. His is the ball of twine. Sorry.
More
Pyro.
twine.
Your character is Hawthorn. Hawthorn is
I
from what
I
type of
recommend-
environment?
She doesn't really, like, she takes a moment to hear about just what basically they are, and then she requests to go to the Arctic.
Okay. So she gets placed
You're gonna go with the hoity-toity elf.
here-ish. And
I
it
think they're
is
too
an
hoity-toity
icy
to go to
igloo.
Peanut Island.
I'm gonna be honest.
And he
Barracuda has
says,
a low opinion of elves.
I didn't know exactly where you were from, so I didn't know. I didn't prepare a place for you.
That's fine.
I
I'll
can.
do just fine.
Okay. If you want anything brought over, like I could bring over some wood to like reinforce it.
Furs would be nice.
Furs. Okay, I can get some. And later that night, you'll have like a package of like 4 or 5 boxes of furs, like enough to cover the igloo, and then cover the covering of the igloo, and cover the covering of the igloo.
She essentially does that, but like on the inside.
Right.
So she like
Right.
kind of makes it
Meanwhile,
insulated.
Barracuda's
Right.
just trying to make like a magic stuffed animal that walks because he's bored,
And so.
and he has literally infinite resources.
Oh, not on the ship. You're just waiting.
Oh,
You're
Oh,
still
no.
floating as we talk about this. That's where your character is.
I'm
in
just
limbo.
trying to make like something that like I can make move, like just with like,
Occasionally
So
she'll.
you're set there. He brings you the furs.
Mhm.
In yours is along with the furs is also the ball of twine with this a similar sort of note, but also like the note is more tailored to, instead of I don't know what cats are like, being more tailored to I don't know what it's like where you come from.
Mm.
And so around here I know that cats play with twine, and I know that it's useful to have twine to like tie stuff up or whatever, so that's
she's a
sort of thing.
pirate. Give her like a piece of gold.
She just kind of.
There's also
Stuffed parrot.
She unwraps it from the ball and then rewraps it as a loop and stuffs it in her bag.
Awesome. Okay. Then after that, y'all all meet up one day at the request of the guild
The DM
as
shade.
the final member of the party gets there. A small rinky-dink ship pulls into the port, and the Goliath
What happened to the...
Yeah, gigantic,
just kind of like is making
massive
this
arsehole! What do you mean you had
No.
a bigger ship I could have rode on the whole effing thing?
be with Kenkus.
I can put up with a Genku, but
said
that
you
means
didn't
I'm
wanna
all
be with
basically
Kenkus and
I'm
try
trying to
like
get
that.
a raft, you ginormous
It's been
piece of
13
penis!
hours of this. I'm
just
sorry
like-
to
If I had
you.
magic,
Could it just like
I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
even make anything the whole damn
He just
time!
like they're just like walking up into the guild. The doors open and they walk in. Y'all are all still outside of the guild doors.
I imagine.
Lionel,
I imagine.
ramming speed! And then you just see like a little metal goat just go flying by.
Jumps up, rams into his back,
No,
causes him to stumble.
I think by this point he's good enough. He's used to it enough that he can dodge it.
Oh, he
As long as it's
could.
not
After
exactly.
13 hours?
100% he could.
Oh, he just does it.
Doesn't.
By the way, Jeremiah, real quick, how long would have been like us, assuming I undid like no, I would have kept it in the ball just because I didn't think to.
It's about
put
50
into-
feet.
Cool.
You could count. It's a strong enough thing. You could count it as 50 feet of hempen rope.
Oh,
That's
cool.
Just call it that. Just call it that.
I mean, it's
Alright.
Goliath twine.
It's aesthetically flavored to be twine, but it's actually just like 50 feet of hempen rope.
I actually have a thing of twine at my house. Not gonna lie.
Bring it.
I have yarn, as you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel so bad for Twig.
I know.
yeah, Twig
Especially because
Twig
I'm
takes
part of
it and just kind of bumps into the desk and then pushes off and goes into his office.
And now, and no wait, Barracuda's gonna be like, 1 second, I need one thing from you really quick, buddy.
Oh, he's already in, like he's in his office.
Ah, I was gonna punch him for 0 damage. Legitimately, my
Nope.
punches do 0 damage.
Nope.
I like.
Oh, by the way,
Pyro
Jim,
on
the ship
corner.
is he just like a crew member of the, or is he technically the captain of the SS bullship?
Jim is the first mate of the bullship.
All right.
He is the captain when the captain's off, and so whenever the Goliath is off, he's the
Meanwhile,
He sounds like
I'm
an
gonna,
unpaid intern.
basically.
I'm gonna get around.
What does SS
and
stand
be
for
like,
here? Is that just generic
and fuck
ship
your
stuff?
shit, buddy.
That's just generic stuff.
All right.
Jim's just like.
I don't know if SS also
It
meant.
stands for something.
Yeah, I figured
Yeah,
it stands for something like IRL.
It has
Oh,
to
it stands
stand
for
for
something
something.
IRL.
Yeah,
it
why would
stands
it be
for
the
something
why would it be the
different in
SS
the
and not
world.
the
Yeah, do we know what it stands
SOTG?
for? Or do we?
Yes, it would be.
It's the shit ship.
The shit shit.
The
Because
shit.
there's already
Shit, shit,
there's already
bullshit.
SOTG.
I mean, it is. I feel like that boat
If you register it as an SS as a shit ship, you get like you don't have to pay as much taxes and stuff while doing stuff on it.
It's a ship
I'm-
substitute.
I'm fairly
Ship
certain
substitute.
the SS.
Wait.
These are
did
only
not
given out
exist
to
until this
classified
session.
as a classification to ships that are only for transport of people, not of like goods or wares. It's just like
Got
a passenger ship,
I feel like this ship didn't exist.
Walmart
until
brand
20
ship.
minutes ago.
and it's only given to ships that
No,
are
not too
for
many,
that
like
purpose
20.
as like
Yeah, that's what I said.
a delivery ship that isn't allowed to do goods or anything. So it's cheaper to get that license, but it also means you are very limited in what you could do.
Unless you smuggle.
Because like if a merchant wanted to take a ship, the merchant can't take a ship substitute because they want to bring their goods with them,
Yeah.
and you're not allowed to have those. So, but in this case, it was fine.
We're all just like watching him swim
And so-
in. And it's like,
And I'm
Twig
like,
goes into his office.
who the fuck are y'all?
The doors
who the
close.
fuck are you?
Doors are.
I'm an officer in this area, mate. They just hired me. And my paycheck's probably more sizable than yours, jackass.
What the fuck am I gonna do with a paycheck? I'm a bird.
Indeed you are. Now why don't you go fly yourself up to a tree and
Twig
leave?
comes out. Twig comes out and goes.
Just how quickly you collapsed at that statement,
I'm a bird. What do I do?
Let's take it
Twig comes back out and goes. Barugur.
I have issues with you.
Barugur.
What?
Can I see you in my office for a moment?
What? Are you going to bring me all the way here and then cancel my
And
contract?
he kind of comes over and grabs your arm.
I'm going to punch you.
Go for it.
Go
he
for it.
He will begin dragging you to his office.
That is I have a 19.
Oh.
19.
Nice.
You hit.
He takes 0 damage.
He takes 0 damage.
Oh, do you have a
he's not trying
-1
to
strength?
dodge
There.
it. He's not trying to dodge it. He's just grabbing your other arm. You punch him in the face, and he doesn't take any damage, but he just like starts dragging you to his office.
There's just
Kicking and
profuse
screaming.
Yes.
Scottish cursing.
That goes on for a while.
Someone's in trouble.
He'll just sit there and listen to you curse until you get quiet. How long does that take?
Like 30 minutes.
30 minutes later,
He's just out of breath.
before they get into the office, he
Hawthorn
goes,
starts
And your
counting.
mother was a hamster.
before a 30-minute start, like before they get into the office, as he's screaming, the Goliath goes, "Please give us a moment. It might take a while." And then walks
I think
into
I'm
the
very
office.
used to my shit.
The doors close behind you. You're now in the lobby of
And
the
you hear
guild.
muffled yelling.
You hear muffled Scottish cursing for 30 minutes. And then the twig goes, "You can yell at me. You can curse at me. You do not curse at them. You do not yell at them. Or the contract is over."
Fine.
Thank you. And
Just tell me they're not as much of an asshole as you.
Probably not.
Good.
And he
Twig's
opens
like,
the he opens the door. And he
Oh,
opens the door again. And then walks out.
I'm gonna look at
Kuda.
Kuda and be like, about my actions earlier, I do not regret them. I do not at all feel ashamed for them, but I'm sorry nonetheless. Like, he wants
Twig,
zero
Twig doesn't
apology.
care. He wasn't asking for an apology. He was just like trying to get you to stop. So.
Are you happy now, you big off?
And Twig goes, "All right, so
I just ignored
in about a week, the training session will come, and we'll train you with some combat, show you the ropes around the office, introduce you to some of the guards. But for right now, from now until the training session, I would like you to get started with putting these boxes of papers, sorting them out alphabetically into these cabinets."
Burger's is raising his hand.
I know. Twig knows. Twig knows.
Like,
And
Asshole!
he says that,
Asshole!
and then you notice the very many boxes of papers and
where's
many
my
file
workshop?
cabinets. It will be about a week's worth of work. And then he goes, "Yes.
Where's my workshop?
Uh,
You hired me to make things.
You are in a different He was saying that to them.
Oh, okay.
You come with me in a second. I'll show you your workshop.
Alrighty. May I
The training session does apply to you as well.
Okay. He like waves you off.
Yes.
Might I ask what all of you four do? Cause I'm probably, if you're meeting you, I'm probably making crap for you.
I don't know.
You don't know, do ya?
Well, what would
I
Well,
you
think
need?
looks like you're an SOL, buddy.
These
he's gonna look at you.
are temporary clerks. They will become
Clerks? Okay, I'm not making anything for clerks.
They will become, once their temporary time is over and we get new clerks in, they will become guards or
So you're telling me I'm
people
not
that we
making
send
crap
out on
for them?
missions. Not right now.
Alright.
In about 2 or 3 months, probably yes.
Alrighty.
Yes.
I can't read.
What is your intelligence score?
I don't know. They never had a. There was never a reason to read anything on the island.
Baruger's just gonna look at you and be like, now that's just pathetic.
Is there a library?
Well, I don't know.
Not in-
I
not
just
in the
like
office.
hunted and patrolled. I didn't.
But
know
Twig-
there
Twig
was
just-
any-
just gonna
Twig
write,
just
like,
looks at you and goes,
Baruger's just gonna write A in common. This is the first letter of the alphabet, you jackass.
I didn't have a reason to
You-
And he's gonna
learn.
write, learn it.
I will also take anything with heavy equipment.
Heavy equipment.
I don't know, man. I just like hunted stuff and rode on a ship.
okay, so, quick lesson.
So we got simple
And he takes about 20 minutes, and he goes through and says, he has like a board in there.
Oh no.
And so he just writes out on the board,
Common.
A, B, C, D, in
alphabet.
common, like the alphabet.
Yeah.
And then says, this is the values. You don't need to know necessarily what they mean, but by the top line, the first word of it, the first, like, symbol you see, place it in that. If there's 2 of the same symbol there, go to the next symbol and place those. So for instance, and he points to like G, and he goes, this symbol comes before, and then goes to like Z, this symbol. So if you had a thing that was symbol, if you had this symbol, this symbol, this symbol, this symbol, goat. And you had this symbol, this symbol, this symbol, well, zig. The first one would come first because the symbol is before the symbol. Does that make sense? Okay.
And slowly
If
nodding.
you need help, ask one of them.
Can you count?
Yeah.
What's 3 plus 3?
33.
Oh
Is
my
Baruger
gosh.
just gonna do
What
like,
is your
What is your
intelligence
intelligence
score?
score? Genuinely.
Wait, what did you say? 30 plus 3?
what's
Three
3
plus
plus 3?
3.
I thought you said 30.
No, 3 plus
The
3.
Scottish accent does make things harder.
I thought it was a genuine answer of 3 plus 3 is 3.
I was like, oh no.
I was like, you weren't saying it 3-3, you were saying 33, so you understand the concept of a greater value. Oh
6.
my gosh.
Okay, you can at least do math. You're not totally incompetent. You hired a person that can't read as a clerk. You're shit at your job.
Fair. And he goes, come with me.
I
And
don't
he
know,
takes
the
you
elders
to
didn't
your
know what a
workshop,
clerk
which is
is.
like the next room over.
Hawthorn
There's not a door that like closes. It's just like open arch that you go through. Workshop is in there. There's a bunch of wood and glass and stones in there. There's a bunch of paper for
There's like
drawing.
drawing stuff, like alchemical tables maybe.
Right. There's just a bunch of whatever you need in there.
Yeah, I'm just. He's gonna stop.
I
And he's gonna
follow
look
you.
at Twig. You know, for the first time, mate, I actually like you.
Fair.
You keep this up, I might stop calling you an asshole. Don't.
I would appreciate that.
Don't. He turns around like, don't worry, it's not gonna happen. I've known Linty for almost 60 years. He's still an arsehole.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to happen.
Okay, now piss off. Let me work.
Will do.
Bring me some magic string, gem dust, and something has to do with an air elemental.
All right. Can you take care of that?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And then he will go back into his office. And
She, like before he goes, asks him which way, the whatever she was gonna get was.
Right. He points you to a supply closet that's like couple rooms down the ways, and you just become like the runner.
Oh, that's fine. She brings back, like, anything you ask of, she brings back at least 2 to 3 boxes of it. Like, she's carrying 2 to 3 boxes of it.
Varys, as you bring a lot of, like, loads of stuff, Varys gonna look at you. I like you, lassie, go first.
The boxes are probably as big as Barugur.
Varys not very big, but, like, Barugur,
in total.
Like, normally he's, like, all kind of crouched. He doesn't, like to move that fast. But as soon as he gets, like, in front of a work table with, like, materials, he starts going ham, like, moving quick. By the way, DM, I want to make a...
Yes.
The first item Barracuda is going to start working on is going to be boots of, like, feather falling, or just something to reduce full damage.
Right.
Just something...
Fair.
But, like, you'll notice, like, as she comes back and she asks you where to set things down, she'll set something down, and then if you go to pick it up, you won't be able to pick it up.
I guess depending on the material.
Yeah, depending on the material.
Well, he's not. If you set the boxes down, he's just getting stuff from the boxes.
Oh yeah. But like, if you decided that you wanted to move it somewhere else, you
That's
probably
what I thought.
have to be like,
string, feather, something to do with an air elemental, and then dust normal.
So which one of these symbols
Like
comes
boots,
first?
like boots that basically
No,
have
I'm just kidding.
feather falling spell.
I'm working on it. Give me a second.
No, I'm nobody.
If you're making that for her, you're gonna notice that she doesn't wear shoes.
Usually magic items can be modified, so they can be like foot wraps.
You could make a ring.
A ring?
Yeah, you could just make a ring with that quality to it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like an ankle,
Like an
wrap,
yeah,
or ankle
an
bracelet
anklet.
or something.
I'll make a bracelet, like, or an anklet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Update.
No, I'm trying to sketch out a thing.
It's gonna have like probably like a feather token hanging off of it or something.
Aww.
Okay.
Well, I'm a craftsman. I take pride in my work.
The small details, yeah.
When he said that he was gonna make stuff that explodes, he actually never would because he takes immense pride in what he does, even if he doesn't say he does. And his store's, even though his store is literally called Barracuda's Junk.
All very high quality.
Oh, like me and Jeremiah talked about it. It's like it's a hidden gem in the Craig's shopping district.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people go to it, but the people that do like it. And because you give him deliveries, you're first.
What's the how advanced
It will
is
be. You will need to do 50 days worth of work for that item.
Alrighty.
So first day of work is done. We'll call it that. Yes.
how advanced are like just writing implements, or is it still feathers and quills?
It's not feathers and quills. It is like they've made rudimentary pencils that are like charcoal in the center.
Rogues.
So it's still like not good, but it's charcoal rather than feather and quill.
Okay. I mean, Hawthorn chooses to
You could
use
also use an ink
ink,
pen.
but she uses her claw to
That's cool.
You could also use an ink pen, which is more common, and that's what most people use. And that's generally just like, instead of having the bottle of ink and then quill, you have ink and then a pen that has like a small, think like a fountain pen.
Mm-hmm.
If
It's a fountain
Hawthorn's
pen.
if Hawthorn's writing,
Is that a fountain
she
pen?
chooses to.
Dude,
That's why I was holding
that's
it up.
nice.
That's why I was holding it up.
I thought it was a pencil, and so I was like, we don't have pencils. I don't know what you're doing. Dude, fountain
is a
pens
pencil.
are nice.
This is a pencil.
This is a pencil.
I like
So
fountain
yeah,
pens.
you'll have rudimentary those.
I like fountain pens. My wallet doesn't like fountain pens, but I
These
sure do.
next,
My
these
wallet.
next 50 days are going to be the happiest of Twig's life. Because
Oh.
I'm just shutting in.
Oh, you think?
Oh, yeah. No, it's
Okay.
not, but like,
When Hawthorn isn't working, you'll find her just sort of meditating outside.
well, Barracuda's going to have you running lots of errands. Like, he's going to have to send you to get food and stuff.
Oh no, she's gonna like every time she doesn't have something to do, she'll ask if he wants anything or whatever. And if he's just like, no, fuck off, then she'll just go
He's
like,
a little
sit outside.
rotund. Just letting you know, he's a little bit of a rotund guy.
That's fair. Dad bod.
Yeah, ish. He's just a craftsman. He's not like,
Oh yeah.
he's not a warrior. Even though he has very, very nice equipment.
So I'm trying to figure out what the check would be for smithing.
Oh, smithing?
Yeah, I had one in mind, and then I forgot completely what it was.
It'd
Well-
probably be like,
Arcana?
Oh.
no.
No.
Smithing
No.
itself?
Oh, I thought that enchanting.
Well, I'd
Enchanting would be, but
It'd
smithing.
probably be dexterity with Smith tools proficiency.
If you
Yeah,
use
it
Smith
probably
tools,
is
if
dexterity.
You're proficient with Smith tools.
I am indeed proficient. with
It's
Smith
not about strength.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No.
It's
Trust
about
me, I've
precision.
done fortune before.
Nice. I
Ooh,
wanted
that's
to
pretty
do it.
cool.
I very much wanted like forge knives and stuff.
It's fun.
I mean, I guess you could.
The
make
only
him
issue
with smithing
is,
skill.
I live in Texas, and if I was to forge something, I'd probably die of heat stroke.
In Iron, Alabama, it's a little bit better.
Like an 8-degree difference, actually.
It's 8-degree difference plus humidity.
Yeah.
Well, it's really humid in Texas right now.
Oh yeah.
I've had humidity in the 80s for several days.
Man,
South
I lived in
Carolina's pretty
Hawaii
much
when
the
I was
exact
little,
same.
Oh yeah.
and it never got below 70.
Yikes.
It never got below 70. It was 70 and above the entire time I was there.
South Carolina's pretty much the exact same.
Like no, like not even like
During winter.
there was no winter. There's no winter in Hawaii.
I mean, it is Hawaii.
Yep.
Hawaii.
And our house was like on the edge of this cliff as
Say
well.
Hawaii.
I don't know. I was just like, what?
You're like, pause. Did he just say that?
But
Squints confusedly.
our house was on the edge of a hill, so every time there was an earthquake, we were afraid we were gonna fall off.
Oh.
Oop.
Okay, cool. First check I'll make you do now, just because. Get started with it.
Okay, so this isn't.
It'll
like
be a
smithing.
Dex plus Smith's proof. Or
Wait,
proficiency.
smithing stuff? I
Yeah,
thought I was
you're
making
smithing.
Okay.
Right now you're taking some feathers and mixing it with like a magnetic iron to try and make it like magnetic feathers.
What?
Yikes. That is a 13.
Would you like to
That
know?
passes.
Okay.
I would
Put on
like
the-
to- Are they only glazed or okay?
They're only
They'll
Actually, you know what? I will take one.
They'll pass.
Fair enough.
Alright.
They were only glazed. I was gonna get blueberry glazed.
Ooh, I've never had that.
They were
No,
really
they're
good,
not.
but they were out of them, and I was like,
Oh.
Do you just get that from the one in Charger Union, or?
no, I got this from the one that's closest to my house.
Gotcha.
It's like a
Oh,
10
do
minute.
you live off campus?
Yeah, I live off campus. I'm commuting. I live up there in the Madison area.
Gotcha.
So, I have a day on your 50-day order.
Yeah.
Cool.
One down, 49 to go.
Alright, so that is the end of session 0. We can either
Alright.
continue if y'all want, but it's also getting later, and I assume that y'all
Yeah.
want to have dinner and go to rock the back. So let's
I'm gonna have to head out because I've got plans with stuff around 7 o'clock or so with my
find
roommates.
those good
So
points to, like, cut it off, but it's hard.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a solid point. It's a solid, and it leaves us with like looking forward to what happens next.
Yeah, it was really fun so far.
That was really fun. You are a immaculate DM.
That narration.
Thank you.
The fact that you were like, you went with all the crap I was throwing at you.
Dude, that's genuinely the thing that I'm complimented on the most is like my ability to improvise whenever people throw stuff at me.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, definitely it's there.
I just showed up and started being a raging asshole at you, and you just went with it.
Are we free to like, in between sessions, like, character roleplay with each other, like over Discord or something?
I mean, I'm not going to stop you, but also we are on a timetable for another thing that's going to happen. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
have until tomorrow, until like canonically, you have the rest of the night. You all go home. You come back the next day. That afternoon's up. So all of that time you can spend doing
So like
whatever you-
conversations in between then.
No,
Conversations.
Barugur would probably not even go to the room they assigned him. He'd probably sleep in the workshop.
That's fair enough.
If you ever asked, he would tell you that you are placed. He knows that you're tragic. He would place you in the aquatic. Right there.
I do like that he hates me so much. Because
he would
it's
place you
really
there.
deserved.
He would place you there, and would.
I like when he's so polite that he just throws those little bits of shade at me.
Yeah.
He places you there.
Which is very deserved.
And it is a like water cliff with a really nice inside cave. Like it's what you're used to in the since it's rocky and all. Surrounded by water, there is a magical like item that he gives you that is like makes a bubble around you as you drift down into it. And it
would have
is,
been fascinated by that if he actually.
and it is away from everyone else. Completely identical.
Barracuda's actually happy with that.
But yeah,
He
if you
doesn't
guys.
go over there.
And
But
he gives it to you, and it's like, this probably isn't up to your speed, and you probably will hate this.
I mean, as long as
But I'll let
everybody is
you, I'll let
nowhere
you
near
figure
me,
it out.
I'm
On
good.
your, well, he said he's giving you the item and it says where it is. He gives you a map to it and says, you probably hate it, and you probably think that I'm an asshole for giving it to you.
You are.
But
There's no
I'll
question
let you
if you're
find
an
out
asshole.
on your own what you think, and I'll just know that you hate it.
Barracuda takes
And
the
he gave
item
it to
and he
you.
just walks back to the workshop.
If you ever go check it, like, I just wanted you to know where it was and what it was.
Yeah,
'Cause-
Okay,
Yeah.
real question. In the future, would Barugur ever be able to make something along the lines of like an enchanted beanie, like those hats?
Yes.
A hobby of Barracuda's is he likes to make enchanted toys. Like, you know, I was saying he would have started like work on like a walking stuffed animal. That's a hobby of his.
That's why he's got his goat.
Yeah. The goat. Well, the goat was just because he felt lonely and he wanted to pet.
And so he could attack without dealing damage.
His ram deals 1d4 -1.
That still means that
That's still more than zero.
3/4 of the time it'll deal more damage.
No, I meant like Barracuda's he has a ram.
Hey, I'm so bad with names. Your name starts with a J.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
And that's fine.
I wanted to call you Jeffrey for a moment, and I was like, that's not it. It can't be.
Nope.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, this is my plate.
But
Yes.
I'm gonna leave this as a peace offering for your housemates and you.
Alright, cool. Thank you.
It's just like there's like 3 left, but I don't want to cart a whole thing of
Oh,
donuts.
I
so.
understand that, and I appreciate it all the same.
That's all.
Including Jeremiah.
Yep. And I do not like cooking.
I do.
Or I like cooking. I hate cooking and then having to eat. Like I like
Oh.
either the act of cooking
Okay.
or the act of eating. I don't like the energy that I have to exert to eat and to cook.
Okay. I literally heard cocaine instead of cooking, and I was like,
Hey man.
I mean,
I might be
I,
down.
I like
Barracuda's gonna
cocaine.
be an alchemist.
I like cocaine and eating.
Okay.
I use guys and hey man and hey dude.
I'm fine with that.
Completely not.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I do the same thing.
I'm trying to be more active about that for more reasons than just because of y'all.
I feel like colloquially, guys and like dude has become very gender neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, would you rather it be dude and dudette? Like,
Dude, that always sounded wrong.
yeah, it just sounds over the top and extra.
Corrosive.
Or when people are like, ladies and gentlemen, or like whatever, and it's like just say like, hello people or something.
Hello.
It's-
Hello,
Steve.
human being.
Folks.
Probably just because ladies and gentlemen has like been used for like
Show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very it's a very well known phrase.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
non-binaries.
Beeple.
People.
Bebo.
Bebo lovers alike.
Bebo.
Bebo lovers alike. Welcome.
Everyone's a Bebo lover. You can't not be a Bebo lover.
Unless you're evil.
That's your evil.
Yes.
Even
There are those
Barracuda-
people out there.
Even Barracuda would be nice to Bebo.
Oh yes.
You'd be like bouncing around your workshop.
Hmm?
You'd be like bouncing around your workshop, like
Oh
knocking
yeah.
shit over.
And Barracuda would be like a happy grandpa.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
His secret that he wants is he wants grandkids.
So same time next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
All right.
And I already have it like planned, so I don't even have to edit it. I'm
Alright.
I have a week where I can just
So if you
focus
guys.
on the absolute terror that's going to be my work life next week.
No.
Oh.
Because I have to work 20 hours a week. I have meetings at 3 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and 1 p.m. on Tuesdays. And I have classes during all of the meetings. And I have class like throughout the majority of the time that I'm in working hours.
Mm.
So I'm gonna have to tell my boss basically, hey, you know how like I got an extension to work throughout this semester? Well, I need to work like at hours that do not work with any of your schedules. At all.
I'm sorry, dude.
Hmm?
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully it all works out.
I
Yeah.
hope so. Because that also means that I'm going to miss some of the stuff tomorrow because I'm going to have to text and be like, let's get a meeting going because I need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, Monday
What do you
looks
do?
a lot busier
What do you
than
do?
the past few days.
I'm a computer science intern.
But like, if you're an intern, they should kind of understand that it's like
Sure.
school.
Yeah.
You're an intern because you're in college.
Yes.
You're a college student.
I'm basically going to ask if I can drop my hour count down to like 10-ish and work like
Oh yeah.
Friday evenings probably for like 4 to 6 hours and then work another like 2 or 3 hours every day. So it just become like a class, a 10-hour class.
Do I
No
actually